Hello, hello. Welcome to our the final day of the Rachel Rodgers Show Kickstarter campaign. Can you believe it? I know you're tired of me talking about it, but guess what? I'm not going to stop, okay? I am not going to stop until we hit this goal and or surpass this goal. So let me start by giving you an update that we are 80% of the way there. Yes, we have raised a significant amount of money. We are, I think, at around $123,000 of our $155,000 goal, which is that is a pretty big campaign goal for Kickstarter. So we're 80% there. Thank you to all of our amazing backers who have backed this project, no matter what the dollar amount is. So I'm excited to go live with you today. I'm going to be answering your questions. I saw a bunch of questions come in. I'm going to be answering all the juicy questions. Some of y'all asked for coaching. I'm going to be doing some coaching. So if you sent in questions, you're going to want to be tuned in for the next 2 hours. Okay. So just, put this on and let's just chat and hang out for a little while. Okay. So we're going to do a lot of fun things and have a fun conversation. And I'm excited to address the questions that have come up as well. So hi, everybody. Hi, Janine. Hi, Wendy. Hi, Marissa. Yes, so close. So close. So yeah, so fun. Hi, LaQuisha. Thank you so much. I saw your comments in the mastermind group yesterday. I loved it. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you to all of our backers for believing in this show. I have learned so much through this process that I can't wait. I almost can't wait for the campaign to be over just so that I can start distilling down all of the things that I learned and sharing it with all of you, because there have been so many lessons. Oh, yay. I love it. Talana, good job. She said she was at an event that I spoke at a couple of weeks ago, and she's putting my advice to use. So I love that. Thank you, everybody. Hi, Farah. Hi, everyone. All right. So one of the lessons that I have learned that I wanted to share with you, and if you're following along on Instagram, please just know that you're getting a mega close-up. Okay. We're live on multiple platforms, on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, probably other places that I don't even know about. But I know on Instagram, it is very close up. So if you want to be on YouTube, you could jump over to YouTube at youtube.com/hello7. We're live there as well if you want a better view. But you know what? Listen, I have an amazing dermatologist and the skin is skinning. Okay. So I'm not afraid to be close up because the dermatologist, okay, she gave me my skincare routine. I do it faithfully every morning and every night. All right. So I am ready. I'm ready for the close up. But one of the lessons that I want to share with you all is there's a couple of things that I want to share. One is you have to be relentless. So whatever it is that you are selling or marketing, whatever new idea that you have, new offer that you have, new message that you have, new book, new podcast, whatever you do, you have to be relentless. Okay. And in the process, and here's what I mean by relentless. You need to be, if you're not annoyed, if you're not tired of hearing your own voice, if you're not tired of saying the same thing repetitively all day, every day, if you haven't shown up on every platform 7 times already, and you're now annoyed with yourself by how relentless you are being, then you haven't done enough marketing. Okay. So that's the amount of marketing that is required today to get people's attention, right? People are busy. People are inundated with all kinds of information and content all day long, and you have to give them a reason to listen. And then you have to show up again and again. Oh, you busy today? Don't worry. I'll be back tomorrow. Right. And so you just have to keep showing up and keep being relentless with your message and keep find 1,000 different ways to say the same thing again and again and keep showing up until you hit the goal that you have set for yourself. If you want 10 clients, then you're going to keep shouting from the rooftops until you have those 10 clients, right? If you want 1,000 new listeners for your podcast or 1,000 new subscribers to your YouTube channel, then you are going to be the most irritating person in the world with your offer until you get there. Okay. And that's that on that. So being relentless is key. Okay. Now here's something else I want to address, because once you are being relentless, right? In the process of being relentless, you are going to get people who are actually annoyed with you, right? These are going to be people who question like, well, why are you doing this? Right? who have nothing but negative things to say or leave negative comments. They're like, enough with the emails already, right? Is the reply to your email. And what I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and just put that email to the side, just mark it as read, move on, right? Like ignore that comment. You could even hide that comment. You could delete that comment. It's your world, right? But keep moving. Do not stop and spend time trying to explain yourself to people who are not interested. They don't want to hear your explanation. They don't want to understand what you're doing. They don't want to buy what you're selling, right? And so why are you talking to them? Do not waste your energy and time on people who have zero interest. They're not bad people. They're just not interested, which is fine. I'm not going to talk to you about this. I'm going to go talk to these people over here who are showing me that they're interested. And a lot of times we will make the mistake of spending all this time thinking about how can I get this person to believe? How can I get this person to want this? How can I get this person to buy this? How can I get this person to like respond to my messages or whatever? Stop. Okay. Accept the reality that they're not interested. They ain't the only person. Okay. Like your mama told you, there's more fish in the sea. So stop focusing on them. We give so much energy to a single naysayer who makes one single negative comment. And we completely ignore the hundreds of people who are sending us such positive comments, right? Who are with us, who are bought in, who are excited, who are energized by what you're doing, right? So put your attention there. And that is one of the key things that I have taken away from like, you know, you're going to make noise. It is going to be noise to some people because they're not interested, and that's fine. They can mute you. And in fact, even tell them, listen, this channel is about to become the Kickstarter channel. Okay. And I will be talking about one thing and one thing only for the next 30 days. And if you don't want to hear it, feel free to put me on mute. Okay. You could come back in a month because this next month, that's all I got to say. Right. Like that's how I want y'all to be audacious and indignant with your goals. Be audacious and indignant about the fact that you are going after those goals. Have zero shame about it. You know what I mean? And it's almost like I was talking to a journalist earlier who was interviewing me. And one of the things this wasn't her exact question, but it's kind of what the question was. She was basically saying, well, I think when people are going hard with their marketing or sales, it makes people think that they need the money, right? Like it makes them people think like, oh, they didn't have any other options. I'm like, we don't. Right? Like we are women of color. We are Black women. We are Black people, right? We are queer people. We are people with disability. We are people who are historically excluded from the financial benefits of this country and around the world. It doesn't just happen in the US. It's on steroids in the US, but it's happening other places as well. You know, and so why would I be ashamed about that? I know for a fact that if I work in a corporate job that, you know, Tom, who's doing the same job as me, is getting paid more. Right? Like I know that when I apply for a credit card, they're actually giving me a higher interest rate than they give somebody else with the exact same profile just because I'm Black, right? Like I know that the system is designed to make my life difficult financially. Why would I have any shame about the fact that I need to go make this happen, right? Even as a highly successful business, right? I am also a historically excluded entrepreneur. I am also an entrepreneur who has historically been underfunded and undersupported. And so I've had to do this all by myself. And I have done it by myself this entire time, right? And I shouldn't say by myself. I have a community of people who support me. I have an amazing audience that I've built over time, right? I have an amazing team. So, but in terms of who gets to foot the bill, it's basically, I got to go earn the money and then reinvest it back in the business. And that's how I've always done it. And I've decided, you know what? It don't have to be done that way. We don't always, y'all, have to choose the hard way. Okay. I see you first generation daughters. I see you eldest daughters. I see you Black women. I see you. And you do it the hard. I don't want to ask nobody for help. Oh, I don't want to bother nobody. You know, I don't want to, they got their own stuff going on. I don't want to ask them for anything. Okay. I'm not comfortable asking for help. Okay. Well, are you comfortable being broke? Are you comfortable seeing your bank account and being like, I'm too talented to have that little bit of money in my bank account? Are you comfortable with that? Are you comfortable having these incredible creative ideas that live in your brain and never come out? Are you comfortable with that? Not seeing your dreams and your vision happen? Are you comfortable with that? If you're not, then I want you to get comfortable asking for help, okay? Because the only way we are going to do it is together, period, end of story, right? Community is where it's at. Community care, okay? I grew up in a low income neighborhood where there were days where I didn't know I was going to eat. And if one of my friends had $1, we were going up the block to the pizza shop and we were going to split that slice of pizza 2 ways. And that's how we were going to eat that day. Okay. And if I had the $1, I was sharing the pizza. And if they had the $1, they were sharing the pizza. And that's how we got by. Right. They'd be like, yo, come over because grandma cooked. Right. I didn't know how I was getting dinner. Now I'm going over to my friend's house because grandma cooked. Okay. This is how we took care of each other, and in more ways than that, but that's just one example. And so we need to have that same energy at this level, and it doesn't need to end, right? If we want to do big things, we need big money, we need big support, we need, a community that's surrounding us saying, yes, I'm all in, I'm here to help. And it's so possible, right? Like, and everybody doesn't have to write big checks. You could have, I think we have a graphic that maybe we could put on the screen, but to show you, like, you can do things with your community where everybody puts in $5 and no one has to put in $1 million, right? Like with RY the Millionaire Summit, this was a very expensive project that I spent 7 figures on 3 years in a row. And listen, I'm going to spend some time explaining to you being a millionaire and all the details around that. Cause I think there's a lot of conversation that needs some context. So I'm going to give you some behind the scenes of like millionaires, right? And funds related to millionaires. But spending 7 figures is a lot of money on a single project. And I did it 3 times. And every time the bill was bigger than what I thought it was going to be, much bigger, right? Than I thought it was going to be. And I just was insistent. Like I could have asked friends to go in on it with me. I could have, tried it a different way. And I just did it the hard way. Right. And that was very stressful every time. I mean, it is a spectacular event. I do not have any regrets right now, but I also am going to take these learnings from that. And the learnings are, I don't have to do it by myself. I have an amazing community that wants to be a part of these projects. I know I want to be a part of amazing things being built. And so I want to invite people along to be a part of it. So, okay. So let me talk you through this. So this is like, these are each of the pledge levels, the reward levels for our Kickstarter, right? But I'm showing you this as an example because I want to show you what can happen. Yes, Farah, I got 5 on it. I freaking love it. Okay, wait, I got to hit up these comments because I saw the comments blowing up. But I want to show you this, right? Like 16 people put in $10,000 and that's 160 grand that you could make a project happen, right? Like maybe you want to do an amazing event. Maybe you want to like write and self-publish your own anthology, right? Maybe you want to create a physical product and you need money to like be able to create the prototype. These are ways that you could do that, right? If you had 100 people giving $1,500, you can make $150,000 to be seed money to start a project, right? If you had 3,000 people some of you have big communities, right? If you had 3,000 people, some of y'all have 3,000 people on your mailing list. You got 3,000 contacts in your phone, right? 3,000 people at $50 could generate $150,000 and make a project happen, 1,000 people at $150, right? At $5, it needs to be 31,000 people. So that's a lot of people. But if you have a big list or a big audience or access to a big list or a big audience, that's possible too. So I just want to show you, like, I want us to shift some of our energy around money. And now is a great time to do it. Now is a great time to do it because there is so much messaging right now about like struggle. And I'm seeing people who aren't struggling, acting like they're struggling because it's just kind of like we're all in this like collective borrowed financial struggle. So, even people who are like squarely middle class, they've been making $300,000 or upper middle class, right? I think 250,000 and up is considered wealthy in the US. But, people who are making, comfortable 6 figures, not just 100 grand, but 150 or 200 or whatever, and trust me, I get it. Like you may not be able to buy all the things that you want to buy at this very moment, but that is the same way that I'm going to give y'all context. Okay. The same way that we think about like, okay, I saw Cardi B do a post and she was like, listen, this economy got us all out here struggling, right? All of us are struggling from the economy. And people were like, Cardi, we don't want to hear that from you. Okay. Cardi, we know your net worth is 150 million. It's on the internet. So we don't want to hear from you that you're struggling. Right. And she's not saying she's struggling. She's saying she's not making as much as she's used to making. That's really what she's saying, right? And so we're kind of all like side-eyeing her for that, right? Okay. And so like I'm somebody that I don't have that much money, right? But I am a millionaire. I have $1 million plus worth of assets. So I'm a millionaire, right? And so, it's the same thing. Like I'm sure Cardi is taking care of a lot of people in her family. I am too. So I don't just take care of my household. I take care of multiple households of family members of mine who, if I don't work or if I don't make money, their household is not cared for. Like they won't be able to pay their mortgage. They won't be able to eat, like I am their sole source of income. Okay. And so there's multiple this is what happens when we make it, we take care of a lot of people. Right. And then, a lot of us are being smart with our money. We purchase assets. So it's not that you're swimming through millions of dollars like Scrooge McDuck and you've got, millions of dollars to spend at any moment. No, in order to spend millions of dollars, you would have to liquidate assets, right? Like that's how it works. You have $1 million plus worth of assets, real estate, investments in the stock market. I've personally invested in several different startups. So those investments, right? And so like you could get your cash out of those things, but it's not quick, So it's like, and then you have a certain amount of cash that you have on hand. I also have a team of 20 full-time employees that their income, their paycheck is reliant on not just me. Of course, they help to make that happen because we're a business, but like, their income, their benefits, all of that is coming from my business, right? So I just want you to understand, and I have always said this, but I think people don't understand when you say you have a 7-figure business, you have an 8-figure business, people think that you just have $10 million to like go to the Gucci store and you just buy Lamborghinis. And I know why y'all think that, because there are entrepreneurs who are taking pictures in front of private jets all the time. And, they got their Rolls Royce, they got the Ferrari, they got the Lamborghini, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? In front of the private jet. And people think that that's entrepreneur. First of all, if you're a millionaire, you have no business owning all three. Like what level of million? You need to be like making at least tens of millions. First of all, to be private jets, it's $1 million just to gas that thing. Okay. So even the wealthiest celebrities that a lot of them be right on Delta with the rest of us. Okay. Because that is expensive. Even if you could, you probably shouldn't, So anyway, all of that to say, and to be clear, I am not looking for any sympathy whatsoever, but I want you to understand, because I see people saying, well, like millionaires and billionaires, we hate them. And I'm like, ooh, let's not, let's not put them together. Okay. Because how many millions are we talking? If you're talking about, baby millionaires who have, less than $10 million in assets, right? And like they've made a comfortable life for themselves, but they probably still got to work, or they can have lower their monthly costs, and then they wouldn't have to work anymore. That's very different than a billionaire who's making way more money than that, right? We are way closer. I'm way closer, and millionaires are way closer to being poor than they are to being billionaires, I should say. And there's a difference. Millionaires are people who have worked a job, taken money from their labor, reinvested it in something, in an asset. It could be a small business. It could be the stock market. It could be real estate. It could be any number of asset classes, right? And that asset class then increases in value. And that's how they make money, right? Your business, right? That you're pouring into the business that you're building, that is an asset that can increase in value, right? The ownership of Hello 7 is still 100% with me. And so the ownership of Hello 7 is an asset, right? Could I cash in on that? I would have to sell the business to cash in on that, or sell part of the business, right? So these are assets that are very real assets that I will one day realize the full financial benefits of. But it's not all cash in the bank is the point that I'm trying to make. So I want you to understand that's how millionaires made their money. Most of them. Labor, then taking part of that money and investing it in one way or another and building those investments over a long period of time. And that's how they're becoming millionaires, right? Even if you have $1 million year, this is why I always say to my entrepreneurs, right? Like, I don't want you to have $1 million year. I want you to have consistent $1 million plus years, because that's how you build real assets over time. We're not looking for a flash in the pan, because just as fast as it comes, it goes. So you want to make money over time and invest it over time. And that's how you do things the smart way. Okay. So that's being a millionaire. Billionaires, and I'm strictly talking like, I'm thinking 10 billion and up, because even the baby billionaires, that's like Jay-Z, Beyonce, Oprah's included in that. She's at 2 billion, right? Some of it, Taylor Swift, they're still in that category where they've worked their asses off and that's how they got to a place. Now, was there privilege involved for Tay-Tay? Probably. I wouldn't say that Oprah started from a privileged place. Beyonce, her parents were, middle class or maybe upper middle class, but she wasn't starting from a privileged place. Jay-Z certainly wasn't starting from a privileged place, right? So even them, I think that's a different category. But the Jeff Bezos of the world, right? We know that the way that they're making their billions is by exploiting thousands and thousands of workers, right? By treating them poorly, by squeezing out as much labor as they can for as little money as possible, right? By training us to be obsessed with these devices, you know what I mean? And these social media platforms and whatever else, right? Like it's not about what's good for humanity. It's about how can I max out my dollars no matter what? And it's that no matter what that leads to all kinds of fuckery, right? That is horrible for the world. So like there's different categories of people. And I say this because it's not a defense of myself in any way. I say this because I want you to understand it. Because if we walk around saying we hate everyone who has any money, if somebody has disposable income and they instantly become part of the category of people we hate, then guess what you're never going to have, right? Because you hate it and you're sort of putting energy towards never having that, right? I want you to have. And the goal is we should all be millionaires, right? Like the goal is we should all have disposable income. We should all be able to create the lifestyles that we want for ourselves. And most of us don't want to fly rockets to space, right? What we want, we don't need 17 houses all over the world, all worth hundreds of millions, right? What we want is a nice house. We want our kids to go to good schools. We want to go on vacations. We want to have free time. We want to see our creative projects happen, right? Like that's what we want. And we should all be able to accomplish that. And I believe that we can, right? And that's what I teach. And that's why we have Hello 7. That's why I do everything that I do, including this show. The reason why I want this show to exist is because the coaching that I do, I just had a 30-minute coaching call with someone who's been a teacher for 16 years. She is ready to pull the trigger on her own business. She's got a plan. She's had a couple of clients that she's already worked with. And she's like, okay, what is my exit strategy? And in less than 30 minutes, I just told her how she's going to make at least $100,000, if not more than that, in a very short period of time with the strategies that I just gave her. I want that to be on TV, right? I want everybody to see that, right? I want everybody to see that. And I want everybody to see stories of amazing entrepreneurs that are women, that are people of color, that are queer, that have disabilities, that are immigrants, that are from every different background. And they are out here winning with $0, to invest. Like no one's investing in them. They figured it out. And through their own ingenuity and creativity, they have created exceptional businesses where they are contributing to their communities and they are making good money for themselves as well. And they're employing people and providing a great place to work. And that is what we deserve to see. Every freaking business show is just, white guy after white guy, like nobody else starts a business, or it's a tear down, right? Like, let me show you all the ways that you suck and like how you need to do it my way because I'm so special, blah, 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 right? And it's always like some white guy from some C-suite. Fuck off, right? That's not what we deserve. We need to see TV where we see ourselves reflected and we can see the dreams that we have on our heart. We see somebody living it, and that gives us the proof and the evidence that it's possible. And then when we see so many different examples all around the world, then we see so many different ways that we could make it happen. We'll get new ideas. We'll get new strategies, right? You'll get $1 million worth of game in every episode. Okay, that is my goal. So that is why we want the Rachel Rodgers Show to happen. That's why we're asking you to back this project. And I just said a whole lot and went on 7 different rabbit holes, tirades. So I don't even know if I made all my points. But hopefully you got what I was getting. Hopefully you picked up what I'm putting down. Okay. So anywho, that's what we're here to do. That's what we're here to do. But I do want you to understand, like, be above some of the chatter, right? Trust me, we're not here to pretend or ignore. Like, there are definitely people who are out here struggling. There are definitely people who need support and help. There are definitely ways that we can help them right now and support people who, don't have food security because of our fucked up government. Like, this shit is, my family was on food stamps as a kid. And of course, if you're on food stamps, that's because that's like, you're out of options, right? Like that's the last resort for most people. They're doing it because they have to. And so it is really, really messed up. And this kind of thing motivates me, right? Like this is exactly why we need to go execute on those projects that we have on our heart, those ideas that we have, build those businesses that we have, because when we do, we're going to be the one with assets. We're going to be the ones that could write checks, right? That could solve problems. Even if you have an audience, you can raise money by having an audience. So like taking action on your dreams is actually going to put you in a position to be so much more helpful to the causes that are important to you and close to your heart. And that's why I say we should all be millionaires. Those of us who can must, because the only way we are going to create a different world is if we get some money, right? We need resources to create that new world. And, our new mayor in New York City, he just showed us that, right? Community, everybody putting in their $5, right? Everybody putting in their $100 or backing the campaign at whatever level they could, whether it was knocking on doors or sharing or giving $10 or whatever it was, right? That collective action put him in the mayor's office. And so that you could be the next Mamdani, right? Whether it's political or business, and your ideas deserve attention. Your ideas deserve support. Your ideas deserve community, right? Your ideas deserve people putting down money to say, yes, I want to see that happen. And it's uncomfortable. Okay. Like, trust me, I'm not comfortable asking people for money. I'm not comfortable asking people to back this project. And to be clear, this is not a charitable donation. It is in exchange for various rewards that have value. Right. But I'm not necessarily comfortable doing it, but I force myself to take up space because that is what we must all do. Right. And if, we got to do it. Right. I don't want to just tell you to do it. I'm going to show you how to do it by doing it myself. And if people don't like it or they're annoyed or they think I shouldn't or whatever, too bad. Right. Here I am. I'm doing it. Right. Because of course we're uncomfortable with it because society is built for all the attention to be on one type of person and for everybody else to get ignored. And I'm saying no. And I'm going to take up space. And I'm going to say, yes, my shit is worth your attention. And yes, my stuff is worth your dollars. And I'm going to command my value, right? And that's exactly what I want to invite you to do as well. So I hope that you have been inspired. I hope that you're going to take action on your ideas. I hope that you launch a Kickstarter or crowdfunding campaign, and I'll be the first one to put down more than $5, okay, to support you in that. So that's how we have to show up if that's the world that we want to create, right? We have to create new pathways. The other thing I talked about with this journalist, I promise I will answer questions at some point, but now apparently I'm on a tirade. So with this journalist, one of the things she was saying, we were talking about VC money. And she was saying, well, basically women, people of color, we get so little VC money, right? Like tiny amounts, like less than 2% goes to the category of like everybody who's not a white guy, right? Just throw everybody who's not a white guy in this little bucket. And here's your little 2% that we're going to throw you. So we could be like, yay, look, we invest in people of color, but 98%, which is billions of dollars, y'all. Do you understand how fucked up it is that our entire world is being created solely by white men? They get to create the Ubers, right? They get to create the softwares that we're using. They get to create the Instagram that we're using. Like everything that we are using that becomes part of our daily life, it's all created by the same thing. So of course it has the same bias built into all of this shit, and it just continues the same life, right? It continues the same world. Enough with that. So we have to disrupt and do it a different way. And I think crowdfunding is a great opportunity for that. And so when I was talking to this journalist, one of the things that she said is, well, what I've heard from people who want to do crowdfunding but haven't done it is that they think that if they do it, like they're not going to get enough support from, the bros, right? Like it's like they're still looking for white men to invest in them and they're not doing it as VCs. And then they also don't do it in crowdfunding. So what's the point, right? And I was like, you know what? That's your problem. Stop looking for white men to give you money. Okay. Stop looking for, and of course, I'm not talking about all of them. There's plenty of good ones, but we do live in a white supremacist world. So I am going to address that. And I'm be specific when I do, that stop asking them for money. The people who are in power are not going to give up their power. Okay. MLK told us that many years ago. They're never going to hand it over. right? You have to kick in the door and take it, right? That's how this works. And so what that looks like is, don't ask them to invest. They are always going to have a reason why we don't think this will work. That segment, they're not buying that kind of thing. Oh, they won't buy that kind of. There's all kinds of fuckery and bullshit, right? All these bullshit ass reasons why no one's ever going to invest in you, no one's ever going to buy your thing. Oh, that show will never be successful, right? This is what they say. Fuck them. Stop asking them. You know who you need to ask? Us. Everybody who's in here, people of color, women of color, Black men, right? Asian women, okay? Like basically every category, because guess what? Not all of us are struggling. Some of us do have money, and some of us do understand where you're coming from, or we understand the market that you're trying to serve, and we will invest in you, right? Let's look to each other. Because let me tell you, I used to join all the white boy masterminds because that's all that existed. I started my business in 2010, okay? 15 years ago. That's all that existed back then. So I was in masterminds with all these tech bros, a lot of names that I'm sure are familiar to you. That's who I masterminded. And I was always the only Black woman and one of like 5 women total, and there was never a woman speaker. Apparently no woman makes money. Only men do in this world. And I would be so irritated because there was no diversity. But my stance was, I'm going to just take one for the team. I'm going to show up in these spaces. I'm going to learn what I need to learn. And then I'm going to bring it back, right, to the people who I want to serve and the people who need it, right? I'm going to share it with my community, what I've learned and what I've applied, right? And so that was my thinking back then, until they did me really dirty. And I was like, okay, I'm done. And that was the best thing that ever happened to me, because then I started looking around and I was like, wait a minute. Black women have money. Black women have platforms, right? Like, we are out here. We are doing things, right? And not just Black women, but people of color, right? There are many of us that are accomplished, that we could pool our resources, join forces, be in community together, and get the support we need for our projects, right? So if you're looking there, then it's possible, okay? And so that's exactly how I've run this campaign. I've asked my community, right? People who know me, and honestly, I've asked everyone under the sun that's within, shouting distance at this point. But, like, we will fund each other, right? We can support each other. We are a whole ecosystem. There is so much power here than we even realize. And so I want us to change our approach. I want us to start doing things differently, because keep doing it the old way will continue to exist and our opportunities will continue to be small. But if we start reimagining and using our creativity to create whole new ways, whole new pathways of making our dreams happen, they will happen. And every time one of our dreams happen, we're unlocking something for the next person who's trying to make their dream happen. Suddenly they believe, right? And we know what happens as well. When we have money, we invest it in our communities, right? So we know when we have more money, we can trust each other with money. Because when we have more money, we know we're going to write checks to causes that matter. We're going to write checks to progressive politicians. We're going to write checks to the local charities, right? And the local food bank and all of those things. And so, that's why we need to trust ourselves with money. We need to recognize we are deserving of attention. We need to support the projects that we want to see in the world, because ain't nobody else going to do it. Okay. Only us. It's up to us. So we have to do it. We have to support. And so I think it's all about community at the end of the day. That's it, right? Let's trust each other. Let's be in community together. Let's support each other. I am your neighborhood hype woman. So if you got something you celebrating, feel free to tag me. I will hype you up, because that's what I go on social media to hype people. Okay. To be like, girl, you look fabulous. Yo, you did that, right? Ooh, celebrating you. Ooh, let me share your new thing, right? That's what I'm here to do, because I want to spread that kind of energy. And, I want that energy to come back to me too. We get back what we put out. So if you putting out scarcity, and if you putting out, if you hate billionaires, listen, I get it. I'm no fan of Jeff Bezos, and that's fine. But if you hate everybody who has any extra, you're stopping yourself. You're creating an energy that's going to prevent you from having that extra. So I don't want you to do that. Okay. All right. So should we look at questions, or should I go through these comments? Because I've been talking for a while. Hi, how long? Oh, 35 minutes. I was like, I'll just start it and do a quick intro.
Honestly, no one's mad about it. Just so you know, everyone's thrilled actually about the way
I feel like I've hit 27 topics.
Yes, and we love you for it. Like, right? Like everyone needed every single word. Tell me in the chat, right? If you're mad. Are you mad? Because you might be mad for the right reasons. Actually, that's actually what might be happening right now.
There's one thing I did want to say.
Yeah.
What my point was talking about Cardi B. My point was, somebody like me, I could be side-eyeing her and be like, girl, you ain't struggling, right? Like your struggle is different than my struggle, right? But then there's somebody who's side-eyeing me who maybe makes 100K a year, who's looking at me like, girl, your struggle ain't my struggle. You ain't struggling, right? And then there's somebody who makes $10,000 a year, who's looking at you, who makes six figures, right? Like who's making 100,000 or whatever, and saying, your struggle ain't like my struggle. And then there's somebody looking at them. The point is, it's all perspective, right? Like we think, oh, I'm in a position to judge because, you know, I'm in this category, but trust me, somebody judging you too, right? Like that is my point. And so that just is like, that's just a waste of time and energy. And instead, let's focus on what we want to create. Let's focus on the world that we want to create. Let's stop giving Trump attention. Let's stop giving the things that we don't want attention and put our attention towards the world that we want to create and start taking action towards creating it. Because what I believe is happening right now is a new world is being birthed. And I don't know if you know anything about birth, but it's messy. Okay. It's not clean. It's not neat. Okay. Can get a little gross. You know what I'm saying? Can get a little dangerous as well. But I truly believe that a new world is being birthed right now. And we get to create it. And you know why it's happening? Like the reason why these people are losing their minds is because Obama was president, because the majority in this country, if it isn't already, is about to be people of color. And so they think that we want to do to them what they have attempted to do to us, or they have actually done to us. And that's not the case. We just want to live our best lives, right? But they want us to live underfoot. And guess what? That's not happening, right? You cannot stop progress. And that's the bottom line. Progress is like a freight train. Okay. It's coming whether you like it or not. So yeah, fuck all that. Okay. We're out here to fight it. And part of, you know, your role in this, like if you have a dream on your heart, it doesn't mean because the economy is this or because politics is this that you need to put it aside and put it on the shelf forever. No, maybe it's created for such a time as this. Maybe this is the exact moment that people need to see you out here doing it, right? So anyway, okay, I've made a lot of statements.
I do think before we get to questions, we need to be addressing some comments. So I'm going to bring some up on screen that have been coming up that are really, really good. And I think all of you have been obviously, you know, receiving what has been coming up, but they're in point. So you can comment on these as they show up on screen and have a look. There's a lot. There was like 70 some comments that came in as you were talking. So
wow.
I'll just highlight a few of them. So our community has many dreams and business ideas. They just need the guidance to do the thing. And this is what we're talking about the show.
The guidance and the gall. Okay. Mm-hmm. I want us to have the gall, the audacity. Okay. The courage, the bravery, all of it. All right. Indignity. Yep. That's what I want to see. Forget, what is it called? Imposter syndrome. Forget imposter syndrome. Let's just actually usher in the indignant syndrome. Okay. That's the new syndrome we're taking on. Indignant. Okay.
I love it. Everybody was like having ahas and realizations as you were talking, like, actually the system isn't built for us because, you know, we internally, and we here at Hello 7, we say this all the time. So it's just like, yeah, doesn't everyone know? Isn't everyone else aware of this? And the answer is no. The answer is 100% no. No, especially
because we live in it, right? It's reinforced all day, every day. So that's why we need community. So we could be like, yeah, girl, you in the matrix, you know, like, so we can recognize we are in the matrix and we also going to work our way out of it. So, but we need to be in community with people so that they can reflect back to us our value, because you're out in the world and the world is telling you your value is this, you know, and that's a lie. It is a straight up lie. And if you're in community with people, then they can constantly reinforce and remind you of your value, right? I had a conversation with my friend yesterday about an opportunity. And I was like, okay, so how should I value this thing? And he was like, what? Let me tell you verbatim what he said. He said, whatever it is that's in your mind right now that you're thinking, I'm going to need you to double that at a minimum. And then whatever it is that you're thinking for the value exchange, I'm gonna need you to put that half. Okay. So drop the deliverables by half and then double the price. And I was like, you know what? You sound like me. Stop coaching me with me. Okay. I see what you're doing, but also, you know what? You're right. And I sure enough did. I did exactly what he said. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So the comments.
Yeah, lots of love. Rachel is on one and we're obsessed. Okay. So yes, more of this. Yeah, lots of love in the comments about the show, you know, about what people really want to build, right? So we have like, I want to retire my mom. I want to invest in my sister's business dreams, right? Like there's a lot of about like, you know, money's what's going to build our communities and make the world a better place, right? And everyone's picking up everything that you were putting down. We also have a lot of love about when you were talking about, you know, these are the coaching sessions that we need to see on the show. These are the things that we need to actually have visible for everyone to see. There was a lot of love in the chat actually from people around wins that they've had, right? So we actually have Tiffany here. Yes, we have Tiffany here in the chat saying, Rachel, stay flipping my money.
I love it. I love it.
Accurate. And so there's a lot of love in the chat. I do want to make sure everyone's aware we are taking in questions. So we have a list of questions that have already been submitted. We're happy to take more as you've been submitting them in the chat. We've been noting them as well. And yeah, lots of love. There was like a ton of comments coming in. So thank you, everyone, for being live. We're so excited. Okay, so we're here. Also, nobody was mad. They were making sure you knew that they could hear you talk, you know, like all day, every day. So, you know, they're here all day, every day. So let's get into some questions. There's some really cool questions that have been submitted about the show, about why you're running it this way. You've answered a few of them. So I think some of them is just kind of recalling. Remember what I said about millionaires and billionaires? let's look at that when we're looking at this question. But there's a few questions here that I want us to go over. And so one of the things that has come through specifically as people are talking about Kickstarter and why we funded this through Kickstarter is specifically about why we're hosting this show, why we're hosting this Kickstarter at all, right? And so this is the question that has come up. So why fund on Kickstarter when you have a profitable business?
Yes, that's a great question. So, and you know, it's funny because I knew this question would come up, so I put it on the actual Kickstarter, but no one read it. You know, on the Kickstarter page, and that was the first question. But anyway, so I'm glad that you're asking this question. I think it needs to be addressed, and I think I did address it, but I'll just say again, you know, there's two main reasons why. One, maybe three. I don't know. We'll see. It'll either be 2 or 3 when it comes out of my mouth. Let's see. One is I already did a massive project this year, which was ROI the Millionaire Summit. And it was scheduled for January. And then the wildfires in LA required us to move it. And so we pushed it to June, which it was spectacular in June. But that obviously comes with a lot of cost. By pushing it 6 months, we were working on it for 6 months longer than expected, right? So that means my team is focused on that and not other things in the business. And then also there's, you know, deposits lost, funds lost because you're having to move it. So it's already an expensive event, and that just makes it that much more expensive. And so that is a big 7-figure project that I've done 3 years in a row. And because I was indignant about doing it all on my own, doing it myself, never asking for help, like it really stretched me. And it was really challenging and hard and stressful. Okay. Because you know, spending 7 figures on anything is a lot of money. Okay. So no matter how much money you have, well, maybe not Bezos, but for me anyway, when you're writing a check for $1 million plus, like that is an insane amount of money. And so to spend a significant amount of money again in the same year just felt like that doesn't feel like it's smart or responsible, especially when I am responsible for this business. I am responsible for a lot of people, you know? And so I need to do things a certain way, move a certain way so that I can make sure I can take care of everything that is within my realm of responsibility, which is a very large realm. Okay. Just put it that way. So could I have paid for this myself? I could have. Yes, I could have, but I needed to keep cash focused on other things and other investments that I've already made and committed to. And so I was like, we could wait, we could pause on this and do it later. I could stretch myself and do it, but that's what I always do. And I'm trying to get out of the habit of overdoing it and instead asking for help, right? I could do it the hard way, or I could do it in a way that makes more sense. The other thing is that once we filmed and we had the trailer, like we could not share the trailer with you. Like we were so excited about this work. And we were so excited to share this with everyone that we wanted to put it out sooner rather than later. And I'm like, well, if the show doesn't come out till next year, we can't give them the trailer now, because then that's not going to help promote the show and promote viewers watching it. But I was like, now that we have this trailer, we could do a Kickstarter, because I know Kickstarter is always like, it's big on having like a video where you explain, what the product is or what the thing is. And so I was like, this trailer would be perfect for a Kickstarter campaign. And then I also loved it because it's community, right? Like it's inviting the community to be a part of this. And that felt very exciting, because I think all of the key pivotal moments at Hello 7 have always been community driven, community built. The first time I had $100,000 month in this business was through community, right? The first time I had $1 million month in this business was through community cheering me on and supporting me and supporting this business. And so this just felt right. It felt right to do it this way. And I was also excited to showcase for people how they could fund their own projects, because I can tell people till I'm blue in the face exactly what I think you should do, but a lot of people won't do it. And so I always want to demonstrate what I think you should do, right? I want to demonstrate my advice, not just tell you what to do and then sit back and chill like most consultants, right? I want to actually show you how to do the thing that I'm telling you to do. So I felt like this was a great opportunity for us to fund our own projects. And so I felt it was great, but I didn't know, because I had no experience. And so I'm like, doing this is the huge added benefit is that it's community driven. And then we will learn this platform. We will learn how to be successful on this platform. And then from that, we will be able to actually create a blueprint that we could share with other people on how to successfully crowdfund your projects, so that we can see more of your projects getting made. So those are, I don't know, was that 2, 3, 4 reasons? But those were the reasons why I decided that I wanted to do this. And the other, I will say that there's an additional reason, which I think is like, I think this show is great and I'm really excited about it. And me and Mary Angelica were like in love with the trailer. We watched it 1,000 trillion times, but I'm like, but I need to make sure that actually people will be into it, right? Before we spend a whole bunch more money on it, part of it was also testing the idea, right? Like, it's one thing to say, I put the trailer out, if you, put a like, you hearted it, or maybe you put a comment, oh, this is so cool, right? That's one thing. But if you put $5 on it, if you put $100 behind it, if you bought something for $500 to support it, that tells me that you actually really want the show. So it was another way to test the idea and make sure like this is actually something that you want. So those are some of the reasons why we decided to do it on Kickstarter.
Yeah. And it's been actually really incredible to see, because we're going to have different people that are going to watch the show that are super excited about the show. These are people that, really have already backed the show. They've already put their dollars on it. And then we also have a subsequent like group of people that are going to watch the show just because it's out and they're excited to see it. Right. So these are the people that are hearting it and are sharing the trailer on Instagram, but haven't put $1 on it. And just like anything that you do, there's going to be people that are like 100% on it. They're like, I'm going to invest in this. I believe in this. I want to see it be made. And there's other people that are like, they're later to the party, but they still come and celebrate and they're excited about it being made. Right now, we are really looking at the people that are ready to put dollars on it because the other part, and it goes out with the next question that's over here, which is from a practical standpoint, like what is the criteria of who you're going to feature on the show? Because we're going to have guest features, right? And just so everyone knows, like you can actually right now go to Kickstarter, right? Go to hello7.co/Kickstarter and you can purchase the reward that is having a coaching spot on the show. And that is like Rachel talked about having a coaching session earlier this morning and how that needs to be on television. And so to make it fair, right? But really,
when you repeat it back, it sounds so
correct.
I don't know.
Yes, it sounds so correct. And so, anyways,
sometimes I listen back. Sometimes I listen back to some of my recordings and I'm like, girl, you are obnoxious.
But the thing is, the people in the chat have spoken, right? Like they know because we've been on calls too. They've gotten 4 times and 8 times the rep. Like
I mean, it's true. I'm just saying, it's funny to me when I hear it back.
But it's very true. Listen, people are just like, don't worry, we love you. Right? Okay, so one of the things that I think is really big with this question that's being asked is around like the feature on the show, right? Because it's it's mixing visibility with coaching, right? This is the piece of it. And the question here is like, you know, basically asking like, are you gonna say no to me because I'm a particular type of, you know, I'm at a different stage in my business, or I'm in a stage of business that's earlier in the you know, like I just had an idea and it just started it and I'm just making some money. So am I not worth featuring because it's kind of like early stage in business? And we're saying no, 100% no. Actually, most of the people watching the show are probably going to be in that early stage of business or interested in entrepreneurship. Yeah. And so this question is really
there's going to be entrepreneurs of every level seeing this. And I work with entrepreneurs of every level, from 0 to multiple 7 figures, 8 figures. And we have like different groups. So like they're in different communities depending on their revenue level. So this will be the same, right? And we want to see an array. We want to see people like in the future we don't have yet. Like, okay, what are you doing? What kind of problems do you have now that you have this, you know, multi 7-figure business or whatever it is? And then what does it look like building, right? When you hired your first employee, when, you know, you made your first dollar, right? Like your first marketing campaign, your first lawsuit. Okay. Because that's the thing for small businesses, you know, like whatever, right? All of these different milestones, we're going to be able to see all of it. So yes, you know, just like in my business, I coach people from $0 all the way to 10 million. It will be the same on the show. And I think we want to see that array. We want to see people at all different stages and how they're approaching it. I think that granular, like zooming in, is really valuable. And I also have seen in my own communities, entrepreneurs making 7 figures who get value from folks who are at the beginning and have that like new entrepreneur belief and energy, right? Where like some of these folks who are further along, who've been at this for many years, they start to lose forget that this was the dream that they had, that they're now living. And they start taking it for granted, right? And then when they are around the entrepreneur with the new fresh energy, they're like, oh yeah, like I forgot, you know, like I'm so bogged down in whatever the issues of the day are in my business that I'm actually forgetting that I'm living the dream right now, you know? So I think there's actually value for everyone watching entrepreneurs at every level. So we will be talking to entrepreneurs at different levels in terms of coaching. Now, in terms of some of the other entrepreneurs that we're featuring where we're going into their business, that's based on physical location. So the first season is filmed in Lisbon. So the folks that we're coaching, you know, and like I speak directly to camera. So some people, they sent in their audio for coaching, and then I speak direct to camera and coach them. Other people are on camera with me. They're in the studio with me and I coach them. So those entrepreneurs could be based anywhere. But for the season that we're in, it's focused on entrepreneurs in this particular city. And then we're going to go to different cities around the world each season. So it's like that travel and business.
We have Megan in the chat right now, and Megan is actually one of our amazing backers that has backed us at the sponsorship level.
Yes.
Megan just sharing how, you know, having that commercial, having that ad spot on the show is going to bring huge ROI to the business, right? When one woman rises, she can lift others up, and 10K for visibility opportunity is a steal. Yes, we 100% agree. We actually have an educational post that went out today talking about this exact opportunity. And Megan, you know, it's like the smartest 10K you've ever spent because really one of the things that we're talking about is in business, right? Especially as you go up in the scale of your business and as you grow and you want more visibility, you're going to inevitably spend ad money, right? In some way, whether it's like in partnership or Facebook ads, right? And let's just be very clear. Your ad dollars expire, right? Like when you pay for Facebook ads, you are so happy because all these leads are coming in and people are buying your thing and you're so hype about it. And then you stop paying your Facebook ads and like it all goes away. It just vanishes, right? Like Facebook's like, we're done. Like, let's talk again when you pay me again, right? Like the relationship ends. And so the difference here with our ad and sponsorship opportunity, which I know Megan took us up on and is super excited about, is the fact that this is an ROI that continues to live on and continues to be giving, because we're talking a permanent ad spot, right? And that's completely different from a time-based ad spot like what you get with Facebook ads, etc. And so as our reach grows, as the show continues to be seen or rewatched, right? As we're on season 3 and people go back and rewatch season 1, right? Your ad continues to be present and be placed in front of our audience. And if you know anything about the show, travel and business, right? A lot of the people that are watching are people that want to be in business, have a business, want to grow their business, are interested in personal and professional growth. So any product, tool, service that supports that audience, it's like prime real estate of putting your business in front of that audience. So Megan.
Yes. And the other thing too, sometimes you have ones that are like real, like have, you know, you could have certain channels that have a huge amount of followers, but the engagement is usually very, very low, right? And so that's the cool thing too, is that it's a highly engaged audience as well. And fun fact, the reason why this is priced at $10,000 is because that's the highest price that you can have any reward be on Kickstarter, because it's actually priced higher. We've sold sponsorship deals this year that were more than that for less, you know, but because 10,000 is the highest you could do, that's why we did it that way. So it is literally a steal.
We sold sponsorships.
So good for you, Megan.
50K, right? And it's like, there's time based. It's like these 3 times we will be joined in relationship together, or we'll do something together, but this lives on. And so we're super excited about that. Okay. We have another question that has come in, and this is specifically around the show and the impact of what it will be like to, you know, basically have the show happen. So basically if you get the sponsorship, if you come in for the retreat, right? Like, what is it in for you? So like, what is the, if I write a big check, if I'm coming in for the retreat, if I'm coming in for the sponsorship, right? Like, what is the return? And so this is why we're talking about rewards and what you get. And so I wanted us to talk about really, because this is kind of like, this is speaking to like, what's my takeaway? Like, what's the ROI for me? So I wanted us to chat about what we consider to be the rewards and the impact they're going to have in people's lives per reward. So we wanted to talk about if this is your goal, this is your reward. I sneezed. I don't have time to mute myself. So this is really about, let's talk about the rewards and what is the impact that you want to have in your business or life. And this is the reward that's going to match it. So I'm going to be bringing that back up. But if you want to speak to anything around that, you can do that, right? As I'm bringing up the images.
So like, for example, I don't know if she's speaking to specific rewards because there's quite a few, but like the Portugal retreat, for example, I did a retreat for a 1-day retreat with my 7-figure entrepreneurs in September. And in that 8-hour period, the transformations that took place in that room, like we were all changed. I was changed just by being witness, you know, to the content that we covered. What we talked about was 10Xing. And it's like, at a certain level, it goes beyond like, you got to take business action steps. There's a lot of mindset, right? You got to shift all of those things. But then at a certain point, it's about like, it's almost like a spiritual journey of like what you want to create in the world, what is being birthed for you. Anyway, that was the 10X retreat. But the point being that the value that has come from just that retreat in what has it been? This is November. So like, not even 2 months is, I would have a hard time putting it into dollars, but I would say if you come spend a day with me, like you should expect to see hundreds of thousands of dollars in value as a result at a minimum from spending the day with me. If you take action on the advice that I gave you, and I'm very specific. So I don't give you advice that's like, move in this general direction. No, I'm gonna be like, write this down. Here's your homework. Okay. So do this. Then this is the play you're going to run next. And then you're going to do this play. I have the detailed plans about how you're going to do the play in the member site. So go download this. You're going to run that. Then once you run that, if you get this result, you're going to do this. If you get that result, then you're going to do this, right? So they're getting the play-by-play of exactly the moves I want them to make that are going to make them, usually it's millions of dollars, but definitely, 6 figures, right? If you take action. So I can't do the work for you. I will tell you everything to do and even how to do it, but you got to actually go do the work. So if you're willing to show up and do the work, those are the results that you should expect. And those are the results. I mean, you could look on, you know, if you go to Hello7's website, you could look on hello7.co/mastermind. That's our mastermind page. And if you scroll down, you'll see literally an endless amount of more testimonials than you could possibly read, but go through and read some of those and you'll see that it confirms exactly what I'm saying here. So this 4-day retreat is going to be absolutely transformational in Portugal. First of all, when you get out of your regular environment, you also get out of like the stuck beliefs that you have. So you just create possibility as soon as you move to a new location, you know? So coming to Portugal is going to do that. That's part of it, right? And then also you're going to be with everybody who has signed up for this so far is a 7-figure entrepreneur. So there's some badass people coming. Okay. And so you're going to be with amazing people that you're going to network and be in community with. I'm going to be teaching workshops. In addition to that, we're going to go around to the businesses that are featured in the first season of the Rachel Rodgers Show. So you will actually go to those businesses, hear from those entrepreneurs about the things that they've built. There are entrepreneurs at every level, but there's an 8-figure entrepreneur. There are 7-figure entrepreneurs. There are entrepreneurs with brick and mortar businesses. There are entrepreneurs with service-based businesses, all doing quite well for themselves and all have incredible stories to share. You're going to get fresh new ideas about how to market yourself, you know, changes you could be making. Sometimes with things like this, it's like it's just one thing that unlocks something for you. Like, you know, I've gone on a whole tirade for an hour at this point, right? And so it might have been just one thing that I said that was like, oh, that's what I needed, right? That unlocked something for you. This is an accurate description. That is an accurate description. So funny. So yes, so that will be part of it. We're going to go to those businesses and talk to those entrepreneurs as well. There'll be some guest speakers, and then we're also going to travel and have fun and have experiences because this is a beautiful place. And, you know, I'm a local now, so I'll have fun places that I'm going to take everybody, and it'll be a delightful experience. So that's that. And, you know, this is what, like $10,000 is the minimum that I would charge for. Honestly, a retreat for 4 days, I usually would charge $10K for like a 2-day retreat, you know, and we're not traveling. You know what I mean? It's not like a destination experience. So this again, right? Like this is actually has much more value than $10,000, but that's the highest that we could do on Kickstarter. And so we were like, okay, cool. And plus we wanted it to be just like hyper attractive. And this has been a very popular reward. We've had a lot of people take us up on this.
They are. And I think that's also one of the things with this retreat is like, this is like, if this is the goal for you, if the goal for you is to be around other, you know, big action takers, big people that are taking big action, people that are moving big, okay? Like in their business, in their life, they're taking risks and they're seeing the rewards of that risk. If your goal is rest, right, and relaxation and pulling yourself completely out of your day-to-day life and what is happening in your life, if those are the goals, you're like, you know what, next year, I really want to be connected to the right people. I want to be in connection and partnership and community, right, with other 7-figure entrepreneurs or other entrepreneurs that are really stepping up in big ways, even if you're not at 7 figures yet. Or really, I just want to relax, I want to get away, and I want to treat it also as part of my vacation. And then this is already a great way to do it, because if you're going to fly there already, you might as well relax, enjoy, and mastermind together at the same time. So those are your goals. Who it's for.
I want to answer Farah's question. So this is not the mastermind retreat for our Hello7 mastermind. That is a separate thing. So this is a small group retreat. The max number of people is 20 people. So it's an intimate retreat. And it's a 4-day experience in Portugal. That is the week after our Hello7 mastermind retreat. So if you're a member of my mastermind, you could, I don't know if we're going to do it. We're still taking a survey of our masterminders, but if we do our June mastermind retreat in June, in Portugal, then it would be Thursday and Friday, right? In early June, I forget the exact dates. Then the weekend you'd rest. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is this retreat. So you could actually do them together. So if you're a masterminder, half of the people who signed up for this are masterminders and the other half are not. But there's some people who are former masterminders, etc. So anyway, hopefully that helps. Yes. So it's 2 different things, but I understand the confusion. And if that didn't make sense to you, just ignore me.
No, I think it makes sense. This thing, okay, thanks for the clarification. So
okay, no, I mean like for people who are not in the mastermind or not
yes.
familiar with it.
Fair. Well, then we have a mastermind for that. But
Yes.
so we've talked about the $10,000 being our maximum thing that we can offer, and so we're talking about like what your goal is, right? So if your goal is, I want to increase my visibility, I want to bring my offer, my business to the right audience, and I want to put it in front of them day in and day out without having to pay past my initial investment, then the sponsor spot is really the way. And we have a very aligned audience. We have an audience that is ready to invest in themselves. They invest in themselves constantly. They invest in their business constantly. And this is just what they do. They're dreamers, they're action takers, they're driven individuals, they're professionals, they're working on their business. And so if you're like, you know what, those are my people. If I were to just put my advertisement in front of those people and I could just let it work for me over time forevermore, right? Then that is something, this is the opportunity for you. And like we talked about already about the way that you use your ad dollars, this is a very smart way to use your ad dollars to ensure that you're staying connected. Plus you get these other rewards that are listed on here as well. So you still get to join us at the premiere. You get to have your company be featured, and you get to bring visibility, right, to what you're doing each and every day in relationship and partnership with our brand. And as we scale, so does your ad comes right alongside with us.
Yes. So if your goal is, I need to build my audience in 2026, and like, this is the year that I'm going to make sure that I have more people who know about me and what I do. And then I get more people signing up for my list, more people signing up for my offers that I can nurture into sales conversations, then this would be a great reward for you, right? If that's your goal for 2026, I really need to build my audience, then you can get this in front of our, 200,000 plus audience of highly engaged people who are, diverse, who have, liberal values, right? Who are building businesses or have the goal to build a business or are really interested in professional development and personal growth. Those are the kinds of folks that are in our audience. Our audience is international. The majority of them are in the US, but then we definitely have audience all over the world as well. So that's kind of like the audience that you'd be talking to with this particular offer. And it would be great for visibility. I remember early on when I was running my law practice, I used to listen to Tim Ferriss, the author of the 4-Hour Work Week. He had he still has that same podcast, but I remember thinking, I wish I could advertise on this podcast. Like, I'd get so many clients if I could, but it was like not as straightforward, or like, I think it was all through like an agency or something. So it was not like I could just go to him and just say, well, how much, right, to like get a spot on one of your shows. Cause that's what it was. It was all like these small businesses that were advertising on his show. And I wanted to be one of them, but I couldn't figure out like how to, get my opportunity in front of him. So this is similar to that. Like, I think it's a great opportunity to get your business and your offer in front of our audience. And I mean, that's why people will pay us. We don't do a lot of them, but we do sponsorship deals where people pay to get their offer in front of our audience, because they know that, especially I only endorse things that I support. Right. And so like, people are going to take action. So anyway, that's this one. For the Portugal retreat, if your goal is like, okay, I want to network with other 7-figure entrepreneurs. I want to make sure that I have built in like, professional development in my year. Like, I want to have something to look forward to. I want to have a trip to look forward to. I want to bond. Like, if you're someone who's been like, I feel kind of lonely as a successful entrepreneur, and I want to be around other successful entrepreneurs. I want to make friends. I want to have business besties, and I don't have that right now. That would be a great reason to sign up for the trip. Or it could be like, I want to spend 4 days with Rachel, get her eyes on my business, and figure out like how I'm going to blow this business up to the next level, so that would be another reason why you'd want to invest in the Portugal retreat. So I want to just give you context for like, okay, if this is your goal and this is what you're looking for, this would be a great reward for that. So let's do some of the other ones.
All right. So, and we have some great questions in the chat. So I want to highlight, just because we have talked about the two rewards. Yeah.
Yes. I think, well, I don't know if you're addressing this, but Farah is asking, when can we like grab these? So all of these rewards are available until tomorrow. Okay. Yeah. So we are approaching the final 24 hours of our Kickstarter campaign. It is not like a made up thing, right? Like, Kickstarter has a deadline. So you have to choose the deadline when Farah, we're going to talk about that. But you have to choose the deadline when you launch your campaign, and you cannot change it. So we can't change the deadline. Like, the deadline is what it is. So whether we hit this number or not, it is going to end at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. So if you want any of these rewards, now is the time to take action. That's why you see where it says final day up top here. It's final day, like for real, for real. So, so you have today, the rest of today, and tomorrow before 7 p.m. Eastern. And then after that, like, the Kickstarter platform is going to shut it down at that time. So that's how long we have to make this happen. Yeah, it's like scarcity for real. Listen, we started this day like, listen, we have a $30,000 gap to close, right? We are 80% funded, so we have 20% left. So yes, we, you know, if you are interested in any of these, take action now. And we get 0 if we don't hit the goal. So we have to hit the goal of 155,000. Otherwise, we get none of the money that we raised. No, you know, no one would be charged for their rewards. And, you know, it would just be like, we would have learned a lot. You know what? And I'll be proud no matter what, because I think we did the damn thing. Okay. And I'm proud of what we created. I feel like we created possibility for other people, whether we hit this goal or not. But I do believe we're going to hit this goal. I believe we're going to hit it. And we have $30,000 to close. So yes, I'm sorry. I should have made that clear, but we got 24 hours, y'all.
And the other thing that's super important to mention, Farah, and for anyone else who's like, which one do I do? The sponsor? Do I come to the retreat? Do I get coached on the show? Is there is a payment plan available. So the total we're showing you here is the full amount. And so you can split this up into 3 monthly payments. Kickstarter will make it super easy for you. As soon as you go to checkout, it'll be like, do you want to pay now or do you want to pay as you go? And you're going to be like, I want to pay as I go. And then it's going to actually prompt you and give you the date. So the first charge wouldn't come out till November 13th, which is tomorrow. And then you wouldn't be charged again until December 13th and then January 13th. Okay. So those are the 3 payment slots that you will get. So basically you'll take this number. So whether it's the 9,997, it'll get divided by 3 and you'll pay over time. So if you want to do that for the coaching spot on Rachel's show, which is the one that we're about to talk about now, that's the one, that's how you can make it a little bit easier also and more manageable. So I know some of you were saying in the chat, like, I want to do a 10K in 10-day challenge, which is beautiful. We don't have 10 days for Kickstarter though. So make your first payment today, tomorrow, and then continue to do that challenge and build up as you continue to make the rest of the payments.
Yeah. So, okay. So let me tell you how I would do it. I'm not saying you should do this. I'm just saying this is how I would do it and how I have done it. Okay. So decide, like, I'm also okay with a decent amount of risk, whereas you got to check your risk meter, right? So how I've done things like this in the past is I would put it on my credit card and then I go make the money. Okay. So that's what I used to do. And it is like, my husband didn't like it. Okay. He was like, you did what now? And now you're going to go do what? But we don't have the money yet. Wait, why do you always got to do it before we have the money? And I'm like, look, I'm about to have the money. Just sit in the corner and watch me work. Right. Right. If you have a monthly marketing budget, you could fit it into your budget. So I want to be clear that I am not telling you to do this, because I think it's important that you recognize what your risk tolerance is and you make sure that you do it in a way that feels good to you. But that's basically how I built this whole business. It's taking risks. And I will tell you, the risk, I will say, like, it honestly has always worked. And even with ROI, it worked, but that was the risk that kicked my ass. That was the one that I was like, oh girl, you might have bit off more than you should have, more than you could chew with this one. Because live events, you know, you could set a budget, but once you're feeding 700 people, like, see how quickly that budget goes the way of the dodo when you provided breakfast and lunch, you know, times 3 to 700 people. Like, feeding people is expensive. Okay. Literally the entire cost of a wedding is feeding people. I just need you to know this. Can you tell I'm traumatized by the food and beverage budget that we've had for ROI 3 years 100%. In a row. My God. But anyway, it is a spectacular event and was absolutely life-changing for so many people, myself included. So yes, I have no regrets, except I have taken the lessons and now I'm going to apply those lessons going forward. So, and I actually,
we're on Kickstarter.
Yes. And the other thing I wanted to say too is I do have a whole episode where I talk through the numbers for ROI, like the challenges that came up, blah, blah, blah. So if you're curious, if you're interested in doing live events, or if you're just nosy and you want to know, you can go watch that episode on YouTube. I think it published August of 2024. So if you go back, you might have to scroll down a little bit to like look for August 2024 and you'll see the episode where I talk about ROI.
Okay. So we have
conference. Awesome.
Yeah, so good.
Yes.
So the coaching spot came up a couple times in the chat here. So let's talk about it. So
yes,
the coaching spot, again, is another one that you can split up into 3 monthly payments, right? So you can do that with this one as well. Now, we currently have season 1, and the part of the goal of Kickstarter also is to help us finish season 1, right? To finish filming season 1. So there's still coaching spots available for season 1. If you're able to film in person, we're filming in Portugal, and that's for the Portugal filming. But we are filming in New York City for season 2, and we're doing that actually in New York City. So that if you want to come in person, that's where it's an easy place to travel to. It's a main airport. It's easy to access. And especially if you're based in the US, North America, Latin America, it's a little bit easier for you to get to. So that's where we're filming in person, but we can also
want to clarify. Oh, sorry. Keep going. I think you're about to say what I was about to say.
We're always saying the same thing, so it's fine. Whoever says it's fine. But if you're not able to get there in person, we are still able to have you featured as a coaching spot virtually. So no matter where you're based from, this is an opportunity that you can take part in, because we actually have a way for you to do it. All we require is for you to have a good, camera, good lighting, just put yourself in front of a good window and have a microphone, and we're ready to coach you. And it will still be featured on the show. It'll just be a virtual coaching session, which is how most of our business coaching sessions happen as well, but it'll still be featured on the show.
Yeah, and it won't be Zoom. Like I will be in person, and we'll have a screen where you'll be on the screen. You might have seen this, like Oprah has a podcast now. And she has sometimes people are virtual. So she has a screen in her podcast studio. That's what it would look like. But the thing I wanted to clarify is we're going to be filming these spots. Your options are, Lisbon, Portugal, or New York City. So if you're in Europe, Lisbon would be a great choice. If you're in the States, you could choose New York as a way to film. And it is possible that your coaching spot could be in season 1. So I just wanted to clarify that. So we'll see how it all lines up, but we will work it out with you. So, we will have a whole situation that happens after the Kickstarter ends, where we will be talking to everyone who's gotten their rewards and capturing all their details, all of the things, so that you get what you need and you have all the information you need to have. So, and again, this coaching spot, you can split into 3. So it's $7,997 and you can do 3 payments. And so it's just like Nicole, who's featured in this photo, you're in a studio with me and I'm going to coach you. So you're going to come with the challenge that you're experiencing in your business. And I am going to rework your entire business model in a way to make you more money with less effort in a short period of time, because that's what we do. And then, of course, you also get access to all of the other things that are shown here. So your name in the credits as one of our backers, your Rachel Rodgers hat and other swag, digital access to the first season of the show so you can watch it anytime. An exclusive Q&A live stream that we're doing for backers only is all included in this coaching spot.
Yeah. So similar to when we're talking about, the being sponsored on the show, right? And you can actually get a sponsor spot and an ad spot, right? That's a shorter segment because it's a sponsor spot. Like we're going to run your ad, right? And either Rachel's going to do it or we'll run your video ad on our show. A coaching spot actually allows you to get deeper into your business. And hello, you're being coached by Rachel Rodgers. So
you got to be vulnerable. You got to share you can't show up to a coaching spot and be like, everything's perfect, right? You're going to show up and say what's not working for you, because I know there's something that's not working for you and I'm going to help you solve it. But for some people, they don't want to say that for some of us in certain industries or whatever, they might just feel like, I don't actually want to be coached publicly like that, which is totally fine, but I think actually when you share vulnerably, people are going to fall in love with you. They're going to want to support your journey. They're going to cheer you on. They're going to join your mailing list. They're going to do all the things. The ad spot is I want people to take this specific action, and you want me sharing your work with people and plus oneing your work. And so it's a slightly different thing, but they're both amazing. So I feel like you can't go wrong.
The coaching segments for the ones that we film tend to be like between 25 minutes to 30 minutes or so, because we're really getting into the meat of like what your business is, like what you offer, what your pricing model is, and having Rachel really break down like, okay, great. So what's not working? How are we going to make more money in this business? Right. And this is really what ends up happening. So you need some time for that back and forth. So, and the other part too, is that this is the beautiful part that also helps and supports people watching the show, right? Because they're going to watch you and the things that you're struggling with, and they're also going to get a win from that. So we need a longer segment for that to be covered on the show, which means just more visibility, more time, and also people to have a better understanding of like, you know, why are you doing what you're doing? And they're going to be able to see exactly what this new model is going to look like, so that when they're looking you up, by the time this airs, you're already going to have been operating at that new level. And so it's going to be a lot easier for them to be like, who is this person? I love what they're doing, or I love what they're about, or I love this mission. And then they're going to go check you out and, you know, eventually want to work with you if they're an aligned audience member as well. So this is one of the ones that I'm really excited about, because we see Rachel coaching inside of our programs all the time, and it's life-changing work that happens. We've seen it in the chat already with people sharing their wins, how much money they make after being coached, right? All the things that happen afterwards. And so far that's been kept very much internal, right? It's inside of our programs. It's inside of our mastermind. It's inside of these one-on-one sessions that Rachel has done. So to be able to bring some of that out into the world for people to see, it's going to be it's just going to be incredible for you to be able to be vulnerable and help someone else see that in themselves as well, and be ready to do that as well. So exactly. Right. So it's like $8,000 to eventually go make millions. Sounds like a great deal. I know. We agree. Thank you for saying
because it is.
Listen, a coaching call with Rachel, really for this amount of time, like even less, it's basically worth this price point. So just that alone in private, right, is worth this, not granting you the visibility that the show is going to bring to the work that you're doing. So all of that plus every other reward you see here, it's all in bonus of what that is. And again, similar to the sponsorship episode, it continues to work for you, right? Because the longer that you're visible on our show, the segment, people are going to fall in love with you. Think about like, you know, I love watching, what is it? With the Five Guys, the one where they change people's lives.
Queer Eye.
Thank you. Queer Eye.
I was like, Five Guys. I instantly went to burgers, because there's a Five Guys is a burger chain in the US. So I was like, burgers? It's
Not
dinner
burgers.
time here, or approaching dinner time.
Hashtag Canadian. Okay, so not five Guys. It actually reminds me of the time Rachel was telling me something about Brooklyn, and you said BK, and I was like, I didn't know what BK stood for, so I was just like, why is she talking about Burger King in the middle of this? Like, where is Burger King? Like, what does this matter? And these are the moments we find out. But what I was gonna say is, you know how you watch those episodes and then you're like, you get so behind the person that's being featured because they're vulnerable, right? They share what they're struggling with, and then you see them like have this whole transformation. That's what happens on these coaching episodes, and that's the goal of them. We've already filmed a couple of them, and it's been like people are walking out like almost dizzy, right? From like, whoa, like I just got I have work to do. They're excited to go back work in their business, and then they're seeing results from that coaching. And so it's going to be incredible to have this featured and for you to be featured on the show. So this is one we're so excited about. And you can split it up into 3 payments. Look at this. As a student in the mastermind, I made a 40 times increase in my business after working with Rachel in the mastermind for 11 months.
That is amazing.
Huge.
Go you.
Yeah,
and that
huge win.
Because you did the work, right? You showed up and you did the work. I love it. You know what? Something I want to share this with all of you. Something that Tabitha Brown said to me. She spoke at ROI 2 years ago, last year. My God, time flies. Anyway, one of the things that she said, my value is infinite. You know, she was like, me showing up to speak on a stage, that value is beyond, you know, like any number. She's like, there's a certain amount that I will accept in exchange for my gifts, but my gifts have infinite value. And I'm like, listen, word. Okay. So my coaching is worth much more than $8,000, but that's the amount that I'm willing to exchange it for, you know? I want you to think about yourself in the same way. Think about your gifts and what you have to offer. And I want you to value yourself the same way. Like this is the dollar amount I'm willing to accept, but my value is beyond any number, you know, like let's all own that.
I love that. I'm obsessed with that. And that's what we're about, right? That's what Hello 7 is about. That's what the show is going to do. And it's a big part of the mission behind putting this now in front of so many more people, because the impact that's going to be had in a coaching session, plus what people are going to receive from it, that's where you get to that immeasurable impact that I'm obsessed with, right? It's like, you'll never know. You will never be able to know the impact of the work that we're doing together. So this is why the show is so needed. Yes, we totally agree. Okay, so again, you want to...
wait, I'm sorry. One more. Can I just add one other thing? I saw a comment that said, you know, if I don't have much to invest right now, like, you know, am I alone here? Am I the only one that's struggling? Girl, you're not alone. Trust me. First of all, I used to be you. So let's just be 100% clear. I was the girl with a 400 credit score and my account balance was negative more than it was not negative. Okay. I was so good at calling the bank and talking them into, refunding my my overdraft charges. like this is how I learned my negotiating skills, okay, is by like talking the bank into like refunding my overdraft charges on a weekly basis. And they were like, Miss Rodgers, well, actually it was Lowry then, so that was my maiden name. So they're like, Miss Lowry, we refunded your overdraft fees just last week. And I'm like, and let me tell you why you need to do it again this week. Because I was like, because I can't get to work. I don't have money for car fare if I don't, if you don't refund these fees. Anyway, all that to say, I just want you to know, 1, you're not alone. 2, if I were you, here's what I would do. This would be my game plan. I want you to go to the library, borrow We Should All Be Millionaires, and read that book. Okay. That book is going to change the way you are thinking about money, and it's going to unlock and show you the opportunities that are in your own life that you're not seeing. It gives you a formula to find them. And so like, it's transformational. I know, because I get DMs every day from people. So start with that book and read We Should All Be Millionaires. And then the other thing I want you to do is I want you to binge listen to the podcast. Like, just go all the way back to the beginning and you'll get to watch my whole journey over the last, 5+ years. But just start with the first episode of the podcast and listen to all 100+ of those episodes. And trust me, you're going to have a totally different mindset by the time you finish. By episode 10, you're going to have a different mindset. Okay. So I would do that. Those 2 things, especially if you go to the library for the book, and the podcast is free. Okay. And then the other thing you could do is get a free Audible membership. If you put your credit card down, you could get it for 30 days, then just calendar the cancellation date and cancel it before the 30 days if you don't want to be charged. I don't know what it is. I think it's like $10 a month or something. They also have a like 99 cents for 3 months special offer. But anyway, go to Audible and listen to my other books on there. So I have 3 books that are only on Audible, which is 6-Figure Side Hustle, $1 Million Habits, and God, what is the third one? My brain. Plan Your Year Like a Millionaire. Oh my God, that's the most popular one. You could go listen to all 3 of those. They're free with an Audible membership. So just do the free trial, okay? And listen to those. And that's good. Listen, all of that, trust me, you will have a lot of plays that you can make just with that content, okay? Then once you start making all this money from listening and doing all that, then you could come join my mastermind or work with me in some other way when you're ready, okay? Okay, so that's my game plan for you.
So and we need to pause for a sec. I need everyone to understand what's going down right now, and this is serious. We have a serious matter to discuss.
I don't even know what you're about to say.
Is everyone sitting down? Because there's some big things to announce right now. So okay. I want everyone to celebrate with us, and I'm going to play our cash register sound because we have just hit 92% funded. We are so close.
Wow, 92% is amazing.
This community in this chat look at Rachel's face, is showing up. Farah is going to be coached on the show. And we see you, Hallie. Hallie's like, she's like looking at it so much that she's like, I literally just saw it go from 8 spots to 7 spots, right? And Hallie is considering season 1 or season 2. So being coached and making sure. So your question, Hallie, was like, is it guaranteed that we're going to have a season 2 if the show gets funded through Kickstarter? And yes, we actually already have guests. We have locations booked. We already have a plan for season 2, and it's already in the works because this is how much we believe in this show. And we're already in conversations about this. So And Hallie, we're happy to work with you if you're like, if we are able to get you in for season 1, we will. If you're like committed to like, I'm ready for season 2, we'll get you into season 2. So getting a spot is going to guarantee that conversation to even be able to happen. So we are so excited. We have 244 backers. We are at 92% funded for this Kickstarter. Farah is going to be coached live on the show, which we're so excited about, Farah. Okay, you made it happen. Farah. You made that decision. You took action. Okay, let's everyone celebrate. This is so excited. And I love it.
It's surreal. I'm refreshing my Kickstarter on my phone right now because I'm like, wait, I gotta see this because it was literally 80% a few minutes ago. I'm like, wait, are you right? Let me see.
We started the day at like 78%. So actually we jumped to 92%. We actually have some people in the chat that have actually purchased rewards we haven't even talked about. Some of you have just purchased the VIP tickets to the premiere. Oh my gosh, wait. 1 second. Yeah, there is a lot going on right now. 1 second. We have one of you, you just booked a spot at the retreat. We're so excited. This is huge.
Oh my gosh. This is amazing.
Of a telethon. You get real reactions. You know how like you've seen those memes and it's like, this is what happens behind the scenes when you invest in a business and everyone's just like, oh my God, flailing arms. That's what's happening right now. Okay. And so I think for that reason, we need to take a small break and we need to do a money dance because this has to be separated. Okay. Let it rain, rain, rain. Legacy loud when I say my name. They said it could be done, but I can't. Now I don't just make it rain. Money in the air, let it rain, rain, rain. Legacy loud when I say my name. They said it could be done, but I can't. Now I don't just make it rain. Money in the air, let it rain, rain, rain. Legacy loud when I say my name. They said it could be done, but I can't. Now I don't just make it rain. Ballroom boss in a silk dress flow. Lisbon lights where the cameras glow. Every move strategic, every line divine. I don't chase the bag's already mine. From black excellence to global shine. From the bottom to the Forbes headline. Listen, you all made that happen.
The money gun always surprises me. I don't know why, because I know you possess a money gun, but it just is so funny.
I think it's also just like how in close proximity it is to me. And, I'm going to explain to someone came to see our house for something yesterday and they just saw, y'all don't even know what this floor looks like, okay? There are fake bills everywhere. And she came in and she was like, oh, what happened here? And I was like, oh, it's just for my job.
She's like, what do you do for a living that you throw fake money around?
Anyways, we are so excited. We have literally within the last hour, as we've been live, we've had some of you purchase VIP tickets to the show, a ticket to our retreat in Portugal. This is going to be life-changing already for you. Farah is getting coached live on the show. We have people buying. They're just like, some people are just like, here's $150. I don't even need a reward. So like people are just coming in out of the woodwork. So we are so excited. Thank you so much for supporting this show and supporting our mission. We are so close. We're so close, y'all.
Yes. Thank you guys. I so appreciate all the support. I'm like flabbergasted right now. Because I just knew it was gonna be 6 p.m. tomorrow, and then we were gonna be out here like, y'all, is it happening? Like the suspense, right up until the hour. Because like, listen, this is who I am. Okay, let me tell you a story. When my first year of law school, you got to take this class called legal writing. Okay. And you have to submit this legal brief. It was with my partner, Toya. Me and her worked together on this brief. It was a group project. And me and Toya submitted this project. It was due like on a certain day. We submitted this project at 11:59 p.m. We had to like upload it to a platform. We were like, go, 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 go. We were working on it until 11:58. And then we had 1 minute to get it uploaded. Oh my. And so it's like, that has been the energy ever since. It's like, you know what? Down to the wire. I don't know. It's like, I attract this. I usher it in. It was my last minute project in law school. So to this day, every time me and Toya see each other, we're like 11:59. We got a good grade too. Okay.
Listen, there you go. And at the end of the day, I think the one thing to know too is that like, this is just what happens, right? We're getting down to the wire. People are like, oh wait, you're not playing. Like I actually have to make a choice. Right. And it's true. Like this is it's just how it goes, right? People are just like 100%. Look, Farah's like, I'm getting all this money back. Of course you are, because you're going to take action, because you took action now. You're going to take action on your coaching, and that's how it's going to go. Okay. Look at this. This is just like, Okay.
Look at us. Look at us. Wow. The other thing too is like, I know we're giving a lot of love to the big ticket items, which I just want to give so much love to everybody who gives $5, $1, I don't care. Like every dollar has counted literally and helped us get to this place. So there are a lot of people that did small rewards that has added up and gotten us here too. So I just want to celebrate y'all as well
100%.
and say that we appreciate you. And we have more rewards to talk about. So yeah, but I'm just, wow.
And Dr. Sellers is here in the chat. Dr. Sellers, OG, you're coming to the retreat.
Yes.
See you at the retreat. It's going to be a blast. Okay. So
yes.
And yes,
it's actually a really amazing group of people that's coming. She said, I started at $10. She started at $10. Girl, I feel like, what is that? 1,000x? You just 1,000x your investment or 100x. I don't know. I can't do math right now. I'm too excited. But what I wanted to say too, even if you put $5 towards it, like you're putting, there's an energy that's being created, right? Like when you're like, hey, I just want to support this. I only got $1 for you, but I'm going to give you this $1. There's an energy that's coming with that. It's like your love, your attention, your support. That energy is going to come back to you, regardless of the investment level. So like, we're just putting out the energy for what we want and giving attention to the things that we want to create in the world. So I appreciate that. And I just wanted to share that. And that's what I try to do too, is like focus on the outcomes that I want, focus on what I want to see in the world, support the things, when Black movies come out, me and my husband would be like, okay, we got to go to the movies, right? Let's bring our friends. Even if I'm not interested in the movie, if it's a Black movie, I'm going, or I'm going to pay for other people to go. Like I'll send the teenagers, right? I'll pay for the teenagers in my family to go. But like, we got to support this movie, right? Like that's always, I feel like we've been doing that since I was a kid, like in my family, we got to go see the Black movies. Cause that's how we get to see more of them, right? Like they got to make money at the box office and that's how we'll get to see more of them. So that is the kind of energy that we want to create. So, Farrah in her feels. Yeah. That's how it feels. Like it's that excitement and energy of like investing in yourself and betting on yourself in this way. I'm excited for you. Look at this. Look at this transformation that's about to wait till I get a hold of your business.
And I think that's what this community. Listen, some of y'all have been here already for almost 2 hours, and I'm hyped.
How is it almost 2 hours already?
Yeah, but we can go a little over. It's fine. We have more things to say.
I love how I'm like, I went on a 2-hour tirade. Then I'm like, how is it already 2 hours?
Yeah. Well, the first hour we were all getting like our wake up call for the day, right? And people were kind of like, just like, hold up, wait, you talking to me? And then
listen, I'm not gonna lie, I wore myself out. Okay. Like, this is what happens. It's like I go on a tirade and then I get possessed, and then I'm like, wait, there's all these things I need to share with you. It's almost like this out of body experience, and then I come down from it and I'm like, wait, where am I? What happened?
Honestly, yeah. But we're, like we said, no one's mad about it. Okay. So yes, we have, there's many different ways. Y'all remember how we saw this graph?
Listen, first of all, I love it when the community starts doing the math. Like, okay, so if y'all get 2 coaching spots, we're done. It's like, if we could just sell 5 more tickets to the VIP, premiere, it's so funny. But it's like, that's how it is, right? You're like, let me run the numbers 7 different ways. This is how it is to be an entrepreneur. Where you constantly run it. Like if I get 7 people to join at this number, then I can make this. And then if I get 17 people at this number, listen, the calculator app is like worn out on every entrepreneur's phone. Okay.
It's their favorite app, right?
Most used app. Okay. I love it.
This is the hype that we're here for. And really, I think one of the things that is really beautiful to see is how the community has really come together to do this and to bring everyone together, right? So here is a question that's come in that I think is beautiful to answer. Thank you for asking this question. For anyone in the room who's been on the fence with their business dreams, what would you tell them? Like, how is this show going to change that? I love this question.
Yeah. Well, I think there's 2 reasons why people are on the fence with their dreams. And they're basically like, honestly, it's almost all mindset. But so the first thing is there's an imposter syndrome, right? Which I know is so annoying to talk about because we're like, the reason why we don't believe our work is valuable and that people will pay us for our services or people will pay us for products that we've created is because society is designed so that we believe that, right? This is very intentional. None of this shit, this whole enterprise empire that we're all living under, it was created intentionally to make Black and brown people, queer people, people of color, women, right, believe that we are less than and that our work is not as valuable, right? And so we believe it. Why? Because it's constantly reinforced in the TV we watch, where like, you know, women are shopaholics or like stay-at-home parents and the dad is an investment banker or whatever the hell, right? Like it's always the man has the money. There's so many ways in which subtly in ads and everything, it's like women's entire job is to be beautiful, right? And, you know, and like, that's what's constantly pushed our way is like, be pretty, but spend no money, you know? And for men, I actually studied this. All of the ads are like, it's like a lion and it's like, take action, take risks, go after everything you want, right? That's how men are marketed to. That's how they're socialized, right? To take action, to reach their goals. And women are not socialized that way, right? And so that's just one example, but society is designed to make us believe that our work is not that valuable and to get us reliant on too little money just because it's direct deposited. You know what I'm saying? And like, you know, and we're working these places where we're not respected, we're not valued, we're not given the great projects, our ideas aren't heard, or people steal our ideas and pass them off as their own, right? A whole bag of bullshit that we have to deal with. And, you know, so therefore, like when you're surrounded by that constantly, and it becomes, right, like, we oppress ourselves eventually because with these beliefs, like even our parents who love us so much will be like, don't leave that good job, right? Like everyone's afraid for us to like take any risks. It's so reinforced in every layer of our lives. So one, it's like we live under this like mega imposter syndrome Gestapo. And so it's hard to not believe that. And the counteract to that is community. Get yourself in a community where people are constantly reinforcing to you what your value is, and it will change everything. So that's one thing why we don't go after our dreams. The second thing is, which is another societal belief that we've taken on, which is we think making money is hard. And it's not true. Making money is easy. Okay? Making money is easy. And if that makes you mad or if you feel uncomfortable when I say that, I really want you to pay attention. Like you need it the most if you're uncomfortable with that phrase. And I want you to spend some time looking for evidence in your life every day that making money is easy. Okay. And when it happens, I want you to write it down. When you encounter someone who seems to make money easily, when you get a check that you weren't expecting, right? When you ask for a raise and it's easily given to you. You know, and you're like, oh, all I had to do was have a meeting and now I'm making, you know, $10,000 more, right? Or whatever it is. So this is what I want you to understand. Making money is easy. Okay. They want you to think it's hard so that you don't go out there and do your own thing and build your own thing. Or even if you want to be on a team, ask for what your value is. Right. So those are the reasons why you're not taking action, is because these are the beliefs you're operating under. And the solution is to change the neural pathway. So that's what coaching is. Coaching is, you know, you have beliefs that you're operating under as if they are true, and they're not. And the only way to counteract them is to look for the evidence. So be a detective and look for evidence that your core beliefs are not true, right? That your product or service or your work that you do is only worth this. Let's look for evidence that it's not. Who's making more than you doing the same thing? You know, that's a piece of evidence. Read autobiographies to find evidence from other people's lives, right? Like look for the evidence, and that's going to change your neural pathways in your brain. You'll start to believe something different, and then you'll start to act differently based on that different belief. Does that make sense? What you believe is dictating every action you take or don't take. So when you believe something different, you're going to take different action, right? So I want you to, the two things I want you to believe and know, because they are true. Your work is incredibly valuable and you get to set the price. Okay. You could sell it. You could sell your work for $1 million, you know, if you want to. I know people who do. Okay. You could sell one engagement, right? Or one speaking gig for $1 million if you wanted to. It's possible. Okay. And then the second thing that I want you to believe is that making money is easy. So your work is valuable and you get to set the price, and making money is easy. Okay. I want you to look for evidence for those two things in your life, and that's going to help you to go take action on your dreams. When you start conquering those two thought processes in your mind, you're going to start realizing, holy crap, I'm sitting on this extremely valuable idea and didn't even realize it. And now I'm about to go monetize it and get this money. Okay. So like it will all, like the idea of not following your dreams will fall away when you tackle these beliefs that are limiting you and stopping you from taking action. I hope that was helpful.
You know how helpful it was? I got some news. I think we all need to pause. So, I just want everyone to be very much aware that we are officially at 99% funded. No permission since I wrote my decree. Now I build wealth in my own damn key. Money in the air, let it rain, rain, rain. Legacy loud when I say my name.
God.
They said it could be done, but I can't. Now I don't just make it rain. Money in the air, let it rain, rain, rain. Legacy loud when I say my name. They said it could be done, but I can't. Now I don't just make it rain. Do your refresh, because you don't believe nothing until you refresh.
I'm like, wait, I gotta refresh. That is crazy.
More of you that are deciding right now today.
Holy crap, y'all. We are at $153,751. We are less than $2,000 away. Y'all were not.
I'm sorry. I don't know if I'm getting off this call till we hit it.
Well, at this point, 249 backers. Wow, that is amazing.
It's really incredible.
30 hours to go.
Listen, for real. The only
part of the live where you just stare at me as I do this.
Accurate.
Wow.
Y'all, this is happening. Okay.
This is happening. Blown away.
Yeah.
Listen,
and
all y'all needed was a deadline. I'm like, we've only been shouting about this for 45 days. I love it though. Thank you to everybody who showed up to this live, who's hanging out with us, your hilarious comments, your heartfelt comments, you showing up and backing the show, you asking amazing questions. Just thank you everybody, because everybody is contributing to this energy that we're creating right now. Listen, we can do anything. Listen, who's next? Who's launching a Kickstarter next? Okay. Cause like, listen, we go like, raise your hand if you're ready to launch a Kickstarter for your whatever creative project you want to put out there, so we could go support you next. Cause I'm obsessed. Let's just do, you know how they had to, I don't know if y'all know this or if y'all had this in your communities, but they used to have this like money pool kind of thing, or money train, or whatever they called it, where like everybody puts in each week and then each month somebody different gets the pot or whatever. And we could do a Kickstarter train. Okay. So like, who got next? We'll support your project next. Then who's next after that? We'll go support that project. Let's make it happen, y'all. So amazing. Wow.
We're just taking a moment to like take in all these comments, right, that are coming in right now.
Yes. First of all, I thought this was going to be tomorrow that we would go live.
It's on our calendar.
We'll do a countdown and we'll watch the like history being made. Yes. We'll watch like the show getting funded for the like finally or whatever. And it's happening today, actually.
Catherine is here. Coach Kathy is here. Oh my God. I'm excited. We got people coming in. Now we got everyone else coming in being like, wait, history is being made. Let me be there.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about some of the other rewards at the lower level. Okay. So let's talk about the $147 reward. Let's talk about these smaller, because there is actually a really nice bonus with the 147. So let's talk about that. Okay, because some of you maybe this is where you could invest. So you get to have your name in the credits. So speaking of history being made, you Your name will be in the credits for this, future Emmy Award winning show. Okay. I'm speaking it into existence. So your name in the credits, you get a handwritten postcard from Lisbon, you get the Rachel Rodgers Show stickers, you get all of the project updates, because after we are fully funded, we're going to be doing project updates to tell you all about like everything that's happening behind the scenes as we work on the show. So anyway, so that's this level. But here's what's really exciting. We decided to add a bonus to this. Okay. And the bonus is you get a class that I'm going to teach live. We're going to teach you how to replace your six-figure income. So if you've been recently laid off, if you're like, worried about the job market, or maybe you have a business making 50K and you wish you were making 100K, or you just want to know like, okay, tell me how I can make $100,000, right? I'm going to teach you a strategy to build a six-figure business. Okay. And I'm literally going to, again, I'm not vague. So I'm going to give you the specific steps that I want you to take in this masterclass. And it's completely free, a free bonus that you get when you back at this level for $147. I think learning how to make six figures for $147 is a pretty good deal. And you get your name in the credits. So your name is going to be in the credits of the first episode when we go live. So anyway, so that's a good one that I wanted to share with y'all. Should we share the other one that has a bonus too?
Yep. Which is the event, which is what,
yes.
We're just so excited to see you at this event and, be able to party
yes.
together for it.
Farah, yes, the premiere is done tomorrow. So all of these rewards are like, we have until tomorrow to, for people to sign up. Okay, so for the VIP ticket to the show premiere bundle. Okay, so we got to celebrate. I'm all about bringing the community together, especially in person whenever possible. So we're going to watch the first episode together in New York at a iconic theater in New York City. And it's happening on January 29th. This is how much we believed in this Kickstarter. We already have the date on hold. Okay. So like we already have started the contract with this theater because we believed that this was all going to work out. So sometimes you just got to step out on faith, y'all. So anyway, so January 29th, we're going to have the premiere of the first episode of the show in New York City. So if you want to join us for that, you could join at $497 for a single ticket. Okay. But you could also join and get a VIP ticket. And let me tell you why you want to get a VIP ticket. And this is the bonus for you if you're like, okay, I want to be in the right places where I can meet VIPs, where I can connect with potential business partners, where I can really level up my network, because I want to start seeing possibility, being around people who are making big things happen, meet people, make connections, that kind of thing. And that's what happens. This is what I always do. I always have. So we're going to have best-selling authors in the house. We're going to have famous entrepreneurs, press, celebrities, all of that are going to be at this premiere. The journalist I spoke to today is doing a story about the premiere. Okay. So like that's happening in January. So that's what the interview was today about. So that's what, that's the vibes that this is going to be. So whenever I do an event, I want it to be really amazing networking. And also the people that I bring together are not gatekeepers. Like they're excited to meet you. They're excited to connect. So anyway, so get a VIP ticket to the show, because with the VIP ticket, you get the seating that puts you strategically around and next to the people that you're going to want to meet, some of the authors and big name podcasters and just people in the room that you're going to want to connect with. So it positions you to get the best networking if you do the VIP ticket. And that, and then you get, all of the other things that are listed here as well. There's a payment plan for literally every single thing on Kickstarter. So everything that is $100 or more, you could do a payment plan for and break it into 3 payments. So you got options. And if you do, you could also add things together. So like, if you're like, hey, I want to do the VIP ticket to the show, but I also want this other thing, you could always add it on. So there are add-ons like when you join, like when you sign up for this, the next screen will show you different add-ons that you could add swag or add different things if you wanted to, different rewards. So Tracy's like, crap, I need to upgrade my pledge. You can upgrade your pledge. You have until tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, but you can also do it
very
now.
clear about it. First of all, I was like, Kickstarter said, okay, right now we have 29 hours to go. Oops, sorry, what did I do? According to Kickstarter, we've got 29 hours to go for this campaign. I was like, why do they have to put the hours though? Like actually after 40, I think, no, once you hit 72 hours, they stop counting in days. It's like 5 days left, 7 days, whatever it is. Then they went to, once we were 3 days away, they were like, you have 71 hours. And I was like, I was starting to get stressed. 51 hours left. I was like, damn, like the hours is stressful.
Then you go to sleep and you wake up and you're like, oh yeah, hours passed. Yes,
see you in New York, Farah.
See you in New York. So just for everyone who already pledged and is thinking about either upgrading their pledge or doing an add-on, especially as you're hearing some of these bonuses, what you have to do is you go back to hello7.co/Kickstarter and you'll see at the very top it'll say congrats, like you've already pledged, and you will click on the button that says change my pledge. Then you'll go back and you'll say, okay, now I want to pick this one. If you want to up your pledge, you just pick a different pledge, and that's it. It's as simple as that. It already has all your info. You don't even need to re-input credit card or anything like that. It's already there. All you have to do is choose the one you want to select. The only thing that will be new now is maybe in the past you didn't do the pay model, the pay as you go, or the payment plan. And for maybe if you're upgrading from regular ticket to VIP ticket, now you want to actually make it and split up the payments in 3. You can still do that. All you have to do is select pay as you go, and then do your natural checkout. What you want to do is you want to add an add-on. So for example, you're getting coached on the show, and now you also want to come to the VIP premiere. What you do is you click change pledge, and you will select your coaching spot so you don't lose that. And then you'll be offered some add-ons. And then from the add-ons, you can select the VIP ticket. That's how you would go about selecting those things before you go in. Yes, Jennifer, we see you. You went up from the postcard all the way up to naming the credits. So Jennifer, your name is going to be in the credits of our show.
Yes, and you're getting the class. Oh, wait, this comes with a crazy bonus I forgot to mention.
Yes.
So this VIP ticket comes with a bonus that is like, basically the VIP ticket is basically free. Okay. So you get 3 one-on-one coaching sessions with a certified Hello 7 coach with this ticket level. That is a bonus that we added on because we were like, let's add bonuses that like help people reach their goals next year. So 3 one-on-one coaching sessions with a certified Hello 7 coach. And they're not just random, right? So there's a coaching session that is on mindset, so you can get your mind right. There is a coaching session that's on AI marketing. I have 2 of my Hello 7 certified Hello 7 coaches are experts in AI. So you'll have a session with one of them and you will learn how to use the robots to do your marketing for you and make a lot more money. Okay. So this is a great opportunity to learn how to use some of these tools to help you accomplish your goals. This is really important, especially for us underfunded entrepreneurs, which probably all of us here. Because by using these tools, like we're not in a position to be able to hire people a lot of times in the early stages. So these tools, like they can become the assistant you wish you had. And my team, they're experts at these tools. Like Mary Angelica is too. It is bananas. Like we would have never adopted AI if it was up to me. My team has ushered us, into using these tools. And we teach our clients in our mastermind how to use these tools as well. So anyway, you're going to have an AI coaching session. Then you're going to do a business strategy session. So you're going to work on your mindset with a one-on-one session with a certified Hello 7 coach trained by me. Then you're going to do an AI marketing session to get your marketing right. And then you're going to do a business strategy session that is all about, okay, let's look at your offers, your business model, and let's figure out what is the right mix that's going to get you what your goals are for 2026. So those 3 sessions that you could book at any time, like once this project closes out, my team is going to email you so that we can schedule your sessions. 3 one-on-one coaching sessions all. Like this is the steal of the century. So y'all should jump on this like quick, fast, and in a hurry.
100%.
That is so good. Yes. And we added this as a bonus to some of our ROI tickets last year. And people like reported like these sessions were game changing for them. And so we were like, let's bring it back for the last like 48 hours of this. So yeah, jump on that.
And honestly, at the value of those sessions, really, you're basically getting this VIP ticket for free, and all the other pieces that are a part of this, right? So the autograph still from the show, right? Like your name in the credits, the digital access to the season, every other part of it. And we're also doing this exclusive Q&A live stream that we're very excited about. And it's going to be us sharing some behind the scenes, some stories from making the show, and some things that really, don't really have a place to go anywhere, but it's like someone needs to know, right? Like, and we're ready to answer questions. If you're like thinking about doing a crowdfunding, opportunity for yourself and your business, or you have questions about what it looks like to launch a TV show or podcast, right? Because this is kind of stemming from that journey that we've had as a company. We're opening up the floodgates to any questions around that during that time. So
yeah, this is if you're like, hey, I really wanted to work with a coach, but I felt like it was out of reach or too expensive or whatever, this is an amazing bonus to choose to get those 3 coaching sessions, and then to have an event in January to look forward to, where you're going to meet new business besties, do networking and all of that stuff. Like this is such a good deal. I don't even think I realized what a good deal it was until I was sitting here talking to you. Somebody was asking, what platform will the show appear on? So there's 2 pathways. I know this question has come up a bunch. So we've actually been approached by 4 networks since this Kickstarter campaign began. So we have calls booked with some of them. We're in like conversations with 4 different one of them is a big one, and others are like they're all big. So we are being approached, and so we'll see like if we can do a deal with one or more of these different streamers and platforms. So we haven't even begun that phase, but that's what's happened just from the visibility of this Kickstarter, which is amazing. This is another reason to be relentless and shout from the rooftops. So that is a pathway that could very much materialize. And then if it doesn't, or if we don't like the deal, then we will be launching the show on YouTube. And so we will put out the episodes on YouTube, we'll sell sponsorships to the show, and then we'll do it that way. Right. So and we're fine with either option, honestly. So we'll see what happens. And you can still watch it on your TV through the YouTube app. So that's what we're thinking right now. And we'll see. But either way, we are rolling this out next year. So one VIP ticket and $150 gift, and we are done. We're so close, y'all. Oh my gosh.
We're so close. And I love the math that you are doing over here to make this happen. I think this is so amazing, right?
She is personally invested at this point. Wow. We are so close. 100. We're still at 99% because I don't think you can go higher than that until you hit 100.
Yeah, you gotta wait till you hit 100. So we're super excited. Thank you all so much. I've also seen a few of you coming through. Actually, we just finished talking about the VIP bundle. So somebody did just purchase it, which is amazing. And awesome. we've had $5 pledges, $150 pledges, $20 pledges in the last 30 minutes. $22, $52, right? So no matter what you are supporting us at, we are so grateful. Yes. As you can see, literally every dollar counts, right? Like, so we're very, very grateful. Okay, so the other reward that we wanted to chat about as well, if you are maybe you have your name in the credits and you're like, you know what, I want my name in the credits. We also have a reward bundle for Dress to Impress that we wanted to chat about. So let me bring that one up and then we'll chat about it. And
honestly, I feel like this reward is one of the most important ones. Frankly.
Yeah, that plus the bonuses, really. I mean, because that's really where a lot of that magic happens, right? It's in the bonuses as well, and all the things that you're going to get included in there. So we have, just to recap for everybody, we have our name in the credits bundle, right? And so this one is $147. You're going to get access to the class. That's going to be the bonus, and the class is going to be instrumental in you making more money, right? Like you want to know how you're doing that right now, especially right now. We had a question that came through that I'll have you actually answer. Maybe you can answer it now since we're talking about this reward and this bonus. But all of that is going to be covered in one of these questions, which was, how do you keep a business going in this economy, right? And this is something that you're definitely going to touch on this class that we're really excited to cover, because you're right, things have shifted and we have a timeline. Did you want to talk about the timeline? Because the timeline is it's just hilarious.
Wait, what timeline?
The timeline of like the economy dropping in the middle of our campaign.
Oh. Wait, let me answer this question first. And then, well, actually, you know what? You could put it up. I'm sure I'm sure I'll meander my way there anyway. But yes. Okay. So this graphic is so funny because we decided to do this Kickstarter campaign in August. And then at end of August, I think was the decision. We were finalizing the trailer. Even the first draft of the trailer, my team was crying on the team meeting when we played the trailer. Then we did a second draft, and that's the one that you've seen. Anyway, so then we were like, okay, planning and prepping for all of September for this Kickstarter campaign. I was like, is that my phone? No, that's okay. Okay. So then on October 7th is when we launched the Kickstarter. Okay. And then October 21st is when was like basically we first started telling people that the show was coming. We first started telling people that we were doing a Kickstarter. Like we were just kind of like doing the pre-marketing. Then October 21st is when the Kickstarter campaign went live. Okay. And that is also the same day that the government shut down. And well, it shut down a little bit before, but the government shuts down freaking every year. So we're used to that. But then it started to be real because it didn't reopen quickly. And so then it started to become a problem. Was literally the same day that we launched this Kickstarter campaign. And then obviously tomorrow is the campaign end date. And like we were already, like we had to do it at this time because once we hit Thanksgiving and holidays like this, you know, Kickstarter even has data on their platform that campaigns don't do well in December. So it's like we had to get this done right before the holidays. And so we had to like shove it in. And so we were just kind of like, you know what? This is life, right? Like life is messy and everything is not going to be neat and organized. And guess what? Look how close we are. We could have easily said, I don't think we're going to be able to do it and just give up. But trust me, there are folks out there. I think sometimes we're looking at the macro economy, right? And we're saying like, okay, this is what's happening with Fortune 500 companies. This is what's happening with the GDP, right? Like we're looking at like huge, segments, right, of our economy and saying like, oh, this is happening. So this is what's happening in my life. But the reality is that could be happening on a macro scale and nothing is changing in your life. Not right now, right? Like, it could change in the future. It's almost like this fear creates this belief that like no one's going to buy anything, but that's not true. Like I said, at the top of this live, 4 of our clients are having their first 7-figure year. They just hit 7 figures for the first time in September. Some of my clients are having their biggest year in record sales for their companies, right? Like there are so many people who are out here winning and there are so many people who are still out here spending money. So I think what happened is during COVID, making money was very easy as an entrepreneur. So if you shout out in the comments, if you started your business during COVID, because during that time period, making money was pretty easy. Why? Everyone was stuck in their house. So it was easy to capture people's attention because we were like perpetually online because that was our entertainment, right? Plus we had extra cash because we weren't out in the world spending our money. We weren't going on vacations. We weren't buying lunch even, like we couldn't go out and spend money. So we had extra cash. So we had extra cash and you had everybody's attention. It was very easy to make money during that time. That is not normal. That is not the normal state of things. That was like when the things were up, right? And so you benefit from that time period, but then you understand that what goes up is going to come down as well. So I want you to know, when I started my business, the economy was like it is right now. We were in a recession when I started my business. And I still had my first year, I made like $60,000. My second year, I made $300,000. Okay. And I could have easily said, oh, it's the economy. I shouldn't start a business. Well, I did, and it changed my life, So I just want you to know, like, the economy ain't stopping nothing. Stop listening to that and really focus on what do I actually need? Like, sometimes y'all are out here talking about the economy and you literally need 5 clients, right? You're like I just talked to someone earlier today that I coached that with 10 clients, she has $100,000 business, which would replace her current salary. Actually, she'd be making more than her current salary. And I'm like, you could find 10 clients. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are 10 people out there who have money to spend on your business. I promise you. Even if everybody on the internet is saying, you know, they're struggling, trust me, there's a whole nother corner of the internet that are out here winning. And you need to get over on that corner. Okay. You need to train the algorithm that like you want to see people out here winning, right? Because then you're going to be on that corner of the internet and you're going to see not everybody is struggling. So don't adopt other people's struggles, right? Like make sure you just stay focused on your goals and keep working towards them. The other thing I will say too is the marketing is just different. Like it requires more effort now to market your services. So like it could be like you could send an email and instantly make money. Now you got to send 3 emails a day, right? Or you got to send an email, do social media posts, whatever you got to, like, it's a little bit more effort. You need to get on a one-on-one call with someone so they can talk through it to make sure people are still spending money, but they want to make good decisions with their money, right? So they want to think about it. And so you need to be able to, like doing a live like this where we really can explain the rewards. It's not enough for you just to be able to read the description on the Kickstarter page. You need to hear us talk through it so that you understand how it could work for you. And then you're like, okay, now I'm ready to make a decision, you know? So that's a little bit more effort that's required, but that's fine. Just put that extra effort in and you're going to be able to generate the same amount of sales. Okay. So the economy shouldn't stop nothing. Keep going and keep going, you know, towards your business and do the math. How many people do you need to hit your revenue goals? Like how many clients do you need? A lot of you don't need a lot of clients. We're not Apple, right? If the economy downturns, their revenue is going to go down, right? Like huge companies, their revenue is going to be affected because they have so much of the population is a customer, right? But us, we have my business as an 8-figure business is still a small business. You know what I'm saying? And so we don't need, like even us as a company need less than 1,000 customers. You know what I mean? So that's not a huge amount of people. So anyway, stop buying into all of that. Stay focused on you and your goals and just know exactly how many customers you need to hit and keep doing the marketing consistently until you hit that number.
Listen, y'all didn't sign up for a masterclass because you didn't know what was going to happen, but you know, you never know what's going to come out of Rachel's mouth, and it's always gold. And it ends up being like y'all needed to be in the room for that. Do you see why the chat is quiet? Is because they were just
they taking notes. I hope so.
Where's my notebook? Right? Okay. So y'all listen, we are so close. And what Rachel's talking about is literally the reason the show is being created, is to give everyone an opportunity to see people winning, to see people that have persevered. Some of the conversations we already have with the guests on season 1, like it's resiliency at like, I don't know, at 100.
For real.
Okay. So
some of these stories, y'all are going to be dying laughing when you hear some of these stories. Like it's comical, the things people do to like make a business work. And it's just like, not that they're doing anything shameful. It's just creative and funny, right? Like just the ideas that we come up with. Listen, when there's a will, there's a way, right? So if you want to make it happen, you will make it happen. It will happen. And you just believing is so critical. I'm over here peeling an orange if you're wondering what I'm doing. I'm like, it's snack time. Listen, y'all don't eat cuties for a snack? Like, this is my go-to. I've grabbed 3 of these before I walk out the door. I always got them in my purse.
Yep. Or, you know what you have in your purse? The shells of one.
That's the other thing. Listen, we love a healthy snack to fuel us as we keep going. Okay.
Okay. So, okay. I think
she's like, I got cuties in my purse too, and on my desk.
Yep. Everywhere we go. Okay. We are
I don't think we talked about the swag though. I went off on a tangent, answered a question, and we never talked about it.
Okay, wait. I'll bring up the swag just so everyone is aware, because it does include the name in the credits. So some of you that have your name in the credits, I wanted to make sure you know that this is an opportunity. And if you do upgrade to the name in the credits, you're still going to get access to the class. Okay. How close is the question? We're at 99%.
Where we at?
we're at $153,700. Okay.
Wow.
So that is
$1,300 away.
Yes, we are that close. Okay.
The suspense.
Eat those cuties, okay?
I'm stress eating oranges at this point.
You could be stress eating, honestly, really, when you think about it, okay? There's still Halloween candy somewhere in this house, and I will find it. So, okay, so let me talk about, I just want us to talk about this one for a moment, because This one actually includes your name in the credits. Okay. So,
Yes.
you know, we're very close to our goal. We know this. And also we want to make sure that you know that there is a way for you to upgrade into this. If you are a name in the credits person who, you know, has like, you already got your name in the credits, you're already getting everything here, except the only two things you're not getting are the t-shirt and hat. And one of the things we talked about, and I know like Rachel was talking about this earlier today, actually on an internal call about like a mug and just like, you know how like sometimes you pick your mug for the day, people can be like this with like your shirt. It's like the saying that's on my shirt, like this is the vibes. Like I'm choosing to put this on because I'm calling this in, or I'm going to wear this hat because like I want a reminder of this. When I look in the mirror, I'm going to be like, yes. And that shirt and that hat is going to stop you because you're going to be looking fly. The second thing it's going to do is every time you look in the mirror, you're going to be like, this is my reminder that like, that was a big dream that they had. That was a big goal that they had. And they achieved it by being relentless. I'm about to show up for being relentless in my business. So like find a way to make this like swag become a part of like how you operate and show up, because that's what's going to be a reminder of the show. Yes. And plus the saying applies, okay, to literally every person. The thing that it says is it says my two favorite things, travel and making money. Okay. And so I'm pretty sure that's all of your two favorite things too. So
exactly, like you gotta wear this and you're gonna find your people, right? Like they're gonna be like, my two favorite things are travel and making money too. Let's talk.
You're making friends everywhere you go.
Yeah, it's the opening line of the trailer. And I was like, I would love for that to be, you know, I said, welcome to the Rachel Rodgers Show, where I'm focused on showing you, I don't know, I can't remember what I said exactly, but it was basically like focused on my two favorite things, travel and making money. So that's why I wanted that to be on the shirt. So I'm going to be rocking it. And, you know, I think it's kind of just like, you know, you usher in what you want for yourself. So, you know, if you want to be traveling and making money, you wear the t-shirt, you wear the hat, you know, and you're like, this going to be me, right? Or this is me. So you claim it for yourself. Like I choose my mug in the morning based on like what I need for the day. Right. So one of my favorite mugs, it says on there, big ass mug of get shit done. Right. And so when I need to be productive, I'm like, let's grab the big ass mug of get shit done, you know, and it's a really big mug. So I put a lot of coffee in there. And then I have other mugs that are more like about relaxing, or like you're a boss, when I need to be like, yeah, hype me up because I'm not feeling it today, so I need to be hyped, you know. So anyway, these are your reminders, physical reminders, and then you still get your name in the credits. You still get the Rachel Rodgers Show tickets, the project updates, etc. So.
And honestly, I think that's the other part too, is it's basically an upgrade. It's only a $97 upgrade, or it's a $100 upgrade from their $147 bundle, but it does include this. And just as a reminder, because this one is over that $147, you can actually also split the payments of this one. So if you're like, you know what, I do want this, but $247 tomorrow feels like a bit of a stretch, you can definitely stretch this out also into 3 payments while still upgrading. So you'll still get this and it'll be mailed right to your door. And you're going to be looking fly. It's just super exciting. Okay. So just so we're aware, when you do get the VIP show bundle, you are also getting a hat. You're getting the autographed still from the show, which we have talked about. You're going to be framing this, right? And then you're going to be able to sell it at high value, because the show is going to be like, they're going to be like, what? You have the original still from the first season of the show? And you're going to be like, yes, that's me. I'll sell it to the highest bidder. And so this,
we're in our 10th season. You're going to be like, this is valuable.
It'll be like, you know, Rachel's obsession with like Amazing Race, right? It's like, it's one of those.
Oh my God.
It's the same
thing. We haven't even talked about Amazing Race today.
How many seasons of that show are there? 20 some?
37. And
37.
I have watched all, but like, I think I might have like 6 seasons left to watch. I watched from 17 to 36. And then I watched from 1 to like, I don't know, 12 or something. So I have a couple seasons in the middle, and then I have the most recent one that I'm saving up for the holiday time. You know how you save a season of a show to binge watch on holiday break? Like I'm saving it. I'm obsessed with Amazing Race though. I just love watching the journey that people go. They start, like some people start as like total assholes. And then through this journey of experiencing other cultures and challenging themselves and being humbled through this journey, they just transform. You could also see them like the underdogs often win just because they believed in themselves. Like it is just like the human psychology of it plus travel. It's like, I love that show. So it's one of my faves. And I've talked about doing it, and I'm like, who would be my partner on Amazing Race? And My son Jackson, he might be an option. My husband would be an option. My best friend Robert Hartwell, I think I would kill him because Robert is the type that he would do the race and he'd start, and then by like episode 3, by the 3rd set of challenges, he'd be like, I think I'm done. Like, we did it. Like, he wouldn't care about winning. You know what I mean? And I'd want to kill him. So that wouldn't work. So I'm still interviewing for my amazing race partner. But anyway, I digress.
With that said, though, right, like the one thing I did want to mention with this is that the cool thing about this is that Rachel actually didn't start watching it from season 1. You started in like season 20 something. And
I went to Greece and I was hanging out with new friends that I met, and they were obsessed with Amazing Race. And I was like, oh, they were like, it's a fun show to watch with your kids. And I was looking for TV to watch with my kids because so much TV today, like you can't watch it with kids. Mm-hmm. And so I put it on and I just became absolutely obsessed. And my family abandoned me after like 3 seasons. They were like, okay, we've had enough. And I'm like, what? You don't want to watch every episode ever done? And they're like, we don't actually.
But it does mix in that sense of like adventure and travel, right? And then they're like problem solving, all these things. Whereas like, I think the cool thing about the mix of travel and business in our show, the really, really cool part about that is that you're always going to get to hear another story that's going to be inspiring, or you're going to see someone get coached on a problem you have, but then you're also going to see the sites, right? You're also going to be feeling like you're in that location because we're building the location as such a big part of the show, which is why it's also a travel and business show, right?
Yeah.
And I think that is something super special that hasn't really been done in this way before, right? And this is one of the gaps we wanted to fill as well, because it's like we can sit down and just tell a really good story about an entrepreneur, or we can bring you into an experience, right, of what it's going to be like to do it here and to see the actual physical location, right? The brick and mortar location, the space that they've created for themselves, and the community in this new place. Because again, Rachel talked to this to one of the reporters about this. It's not just going to be like, you know, Europe and the US. Like, we want to go to different places. We want to go to Africa. We want to go to Asia. There's different places that need to be seen where amazing things are happening. And we want to bring Rachel there. We want to bring our camera crew there, and we want to be able to interview entrepreneurs on location. Yes. So this is the beginning of everything. And you being a part of this, being at that VIP premiere, being there to say, you know what, I was there when it got made. Your name is going to be in the credits if you're getting the VIP premiere already. So you're going to be there being like, that's me right up there. You see my name? So, right, all the Kickstarter backers that are at this level and have their name in the credits are going to be there. And the other piece too is you're going to get the entire season, the digital access to watch the first season. So you're going to get to see all the episodes already because you're going to get prime access to watching it, which is super exciting.
I'm really excited to go to different cities around the world. Like, I want to go to Marrakesh in Morocco. I talked to an entrepreneur yesterday about going to Manila in the Philippines. We've talked about Amsterdam. We've talked about New York City. We've talked about Toronto. Like, I mean, so many cities to hit. Like, I'm ready. But that's also why this is an expensive show. Because you, when you're going to countries around the world and hitting up different continents, you got to bring yourself and the crew and all of the things. So we have figured out a formula, and really Mary Angelica, who's the director of the show, has figured out a formula for really being efficient with our filming days so that we get the most out of it and can do it in the most cost-effective way possible. So, woo! I can't wait for you to watch it. I want to make
sure everyone is aware right now. Let's just make sure everyone is clear with this number. Okay, the numbers are important right now because we're at the moment when this happens. Okay, so we are officially $748 away from hitting this goal. Okay,
$748. What?
Because the 99% is not going to move anymore. So now we got to talk in dollars. So so 99%.
Like you're 99.6%.
Exactly. Now we're at the points. We'll take all of it. Okay. But we're $748. So listen, everybody watching right now, call up a friend. Okay. We're doing this like text your buddy. Right? Text your business bestie and be like, we're so close, right? Because y'all been doing it in the chat. Now I need you to go do it and bother some people and bring them in and be like, we need to make this happen. So we are this close. We're $748 away from hitting our goal. Okay.
Wow.
We are almost there. Okay. So one of the things that I wanted to do, because we haven't done it yet, is I want us all to rewatch the trailer. Because I want us all to remember like what we're making.
Let's watch the trailer.
Well, I want going to remember what we're making, what we're
remind
creating
ourselves while we're here.
Let's do it. Listen, people in the chat are like, you got to go to Japan.
Oh my God, yes.
Where is it here? Here we have this question that came in, which is just really beautiful. Let me just bring it up on screen for us. And well, it's more a request rather than a question. So before we watch, which is, I know, right? So we have someone who is coming to the retreat. And so we have someone who's coming to the retreat who wanted to let us know. And this is Anomi, who came in to ask this question or brought this in, which is asking us to go to Australia for season 3. To meet entrepreneurs working in fashion, like bush foods, and just all of the things that you need to actually experience there. And I think this is just such a beautiful example of the type of show that would go here, right? That would be able to go to the First Nations entrepreneurs and be able to see, like, what are you creating? Show me the land, show me the space, show me how you're bringing this to life and how you're bringing it to all the people. And, season 3, whatever season it is, I think it's really beautiful to see that people are actually putting in these requests because they know this is a show that would go there. And that's the difference, right? Like you're not going to be able to make this request of many other shows because you're going to be like, no, we have our specific cities that we only hit and those are the only places. But I think it's beautiful to see our community coming together to show us places that don't get visibility that need to be seen. And we're so excited for us.
That's so beautiful. And it reminds me, I literally had a conversation earlier today with the librarian at my kid's school. He's an African man. And he is the cutest librarian, but he's obsessed with his library. And he has curated, and he said, one of the things that he's doing in this library is he's like, I'm having less American books. He's like, because I don't want the kids just constantly exposed to propaganda, because it's built into a lot of our literature, especially canon type books, like classics. And so he's like, I'm bringing in canon from indigenous communities. I'm bringing in canon from different African nations. I'm bringing in canon from Latin America, right? Like I'm bringing in canon from like Asian literature that should be classics, right? And so he's like, I'm creating a new canon and I'm exposing these kids to different types of cultures and different voices and different perspectives through these books. And I'm like, oh my God, this is exactly what I'm doing with my TV show. This is why he's my bestie. I love him. Me and my husband, every time we see him, we're like, we stop and have a kiki because he gets it. And I absolutely love that he's like, this library is going to become a source of transformation because the choices I'm going to put in front of these kids is going to be choices that really show them the world and expose them to different cultures and different perspectives, and I just think that's so beautiful. And that comment just reminded me of that as well. Like, this is why we need shows like this, because we need to know about the First Nations entrepreneurs in Australia, right? And like, how cool, how inspiring for us to learn from them and learn how they're, working with what they have, right? To create. And that's the thing. We're all making something out of nothing, right? Like, we're not funded. We don't have, we're making something just with our raw talent and our ideas. Mm-hmm. And there's so many examples of that around the world. We don't need to see more and more examples of, these celebrity entrepreneurs that have these amazing brands. That's awesome. And we love that for them. There's a lot of women of color in that space now too. I love that for them, right? And there's so many other stories of just everyday entrepreneurs who are out here doing it. And their stories deserve visibility. So I'm so excited. And this is exactly what I wanted, right? Like, I wouldn't have known about these First Nation entrepreneurs without this community. So creating this community through Kickstarter, through this campaign, we now have a community of people who get this show, who are personally invested in this show, who have backed this show, and who are going to share their ideas and perspectives. And you're all going to meet people and be like, oh, I have an entrepreneur you have to meet. You have to have them on the show, and so the show is going to only get better, right? By all of this, shared community that we're doing, and that we will continue to do once the Kickstarter is officially back. So exciting.
So exciting. Okay, everyone. So we're going to play the trailer and we're going to just be all reminded, okay, of the show that we are all backing together, that we are rallying together to create. Also, we are only $612 away. So I just want to say, very close. Okay, so let's watch this trailer.
$612. Y'all, there was like 30 grand to cover earlier. Like when we started this live, we were 30,000. We had a $30,000 gap at least. I think it was like $31,000
It was
gap.
higher. Yeah,
That is wow.
the community has shown up, okay? And also the
Yes,
power
I
of a
have.
telethon, okay? Live telethons are, I'm going to die on this hill, but like, this is just the way now that you're just like, yo, pay attention, listen, this is happening right now, okay? And we need to come together for this. Also, thank you to all of you that have been in the chat literally the entire time, okay? So, okay, let's watch this trailer together. Let's take a moment to take it in. Rachel, eat more cuties while we're watching it, do your thing. Okay, I'm just going to take off our banners so that we can actually watch it in front of everybody. Okay.
Welcome to the Rachel Rodgers Show, where I'm combining my two favorite things, travel and making money. I'm taking you to cities around the world to meet real entrepreneurs and find out how they built their success. You'll see what it truly takes to make millions on your own terms. The sacrifices, the setbacks, the pivots that nearly broke them, and the wins that prove what's possible.
So pretty.
Oh my God.
Woo!
This is amazing. I'm Rachel Rodgers, serial entrepreneur, investor, and best-selling author of We Should All Be Millionaires. I grew my company, Hello7, to over $10 million, and now I teach others how to do the same.
Welcome back. Our next guest, Rachel Rodgers, because we all should be millionaires. Congratulations!
This is all about the money. Where do we begin?
We are so excited with our guest. How does somebody
Self-made millionaire, Rachel Rodgers.
Well, first of all, we have to start with boundaries.
But this show isn't about me. It's about entrepreneurs just like you, building restaurants, tech startups, consulting practices, and everything in between.
Time out.
And yes, I'll also pull back the curtain on my own journey, the decisions that changed the game for me, the mistakes that nearly cost me everything, and the lessons that will help you avoid the same trap. You'll even hear me answer the questions you send in, because this show isn't just for you, it's with you. Hi, Cassie.
Hi, Farrah. Hi, Dr. Julie.
Nicole. The first thing that I would do,
I'm gonna do my homework.
if you've ever wondered, can I really do this? Can I really build wealth and freedom on my own terms? The answer is yes, and every episode will show you how. This isn't just a show, it's a movement. It's culture, it's wealth, created by us, for us, and on our own terms. This is the Rachel Rodgers Show, and it starts right now.
It's so good. Wait, you were on mute. There we go.
Sorry about that. I was saying, wow, like, I'm just realizing I haven't watched it in a while. That was it, just being reminded of all of the people we met, and like the Brazilian coffee shop, kiosk. Like, oh God, just it's so funny. It's like we have actually like interviews and like segments that we have planned that we're filming, and it's reality TV, right? So like while we're filming, something else will happen, and then we start filming that too. It's so good. It's so fun. I love the serendipity of it and the magic of it. So good. Yeah.
And one of the things too, we have a lot of people here that are coming in just being like, entrepreneurship is the new black. I'm obsessed.
Yes.
Listen, we have obsessed. Yeah, Keishel is actually at the airport. Coach Keishel, obsessed with travel and business. As I type this, sitting at the airport. Right? Like, this is just what it's like. Hell yes to all of the comments coming in and all the community showing up. And it starts right now. It does.
Yes.
Okay,
well,
so
we close this $600 gap.
$602 now. Okay, so listen, y'all are coming in. You're like, oh, you're that close. Let me give you another $10. Let me just like more. I see all of you here in the back end, and I love you all for it. Coming in at the very end, just being like, I see you. You're so close. Let me just like up this a little bit, and we appreciate it. Okay, so thank you for backing us all.
You could get like a ticket to the premiere in New York City. That's $495. That will close the gap.
Do you have a friend who wants to come along? You know, maybe you're a VIP. They don't get to sit VIP, but you want to buy them their ticket and just be like, yo, this is your Christmas gift early, right? Like just whatever it is, right? There's a few angles for you to play with this up. Like you have some clients you want to come out and see your name in the credits as you sit in VIP, bring them along. Okay. Get them a ticket to here. So there's a lot of varieties of ways for you to come in. So for anyone who is just joining us or coming in, as a reminder, we are very, very close to hitting our goal for our Kickstarter campaign. It's going to help us finish season 1 of the Rachel Rodgers Show, our travel and business show, showcasing incredible stories from around the world. We're starting with our first season in Lisbon, Portugal, and we are so excited to come and bring these stories to life. And we need to finish the other half of the show. And that's what this funding is going to help us do. So I wanted to actually remind everyone where are these dollars going and what is this really going to help fund? And so I'm just going to bring up our goals so that we can remind everyone of our $150 goal. $155,000 goal.
Yes.
Let me just bring it up right here. Okay. So we have $155,000 that we are aiming to hit. And as a reminder, this helps us finish the production of season 1. Okay. So we finished filming season 1. This covers all of our crew, the travel, all of the different spaces that we need to, all the audiovisual, editing that's going to happen afterwards. It's also going to help us have an incredible funding for marketing, right? And the reason for this, that this is important too, is it's going to bring more visibility, right? We told you we're already in conversations with a few networks, but we also want to make sure that we're putting on our own dollars to back the marketing of this show, to bring the visibility to it that we know it needs to have. And as you know, there's some of you that are already, you're here in the weeds with us because you're like, I'm part of the making of this. And then there's a whole slew of people that are going to come in right after when it's like actually made. And they're going to be like, oh my gosh, I love this show. And we're like, where were you on November? But we love you anyway. So they're going to come and support the show and they're going to be super excited about it, right? And all of that happens because of the visibility that marketing does. So we can do a huge marketing push around the show and bring in visibility to it. The other part is obviously there's a lot of other admin things, right, that are needed to keep all of this going. We have to trademark many things. We have legal operations behind making a show. We've never made a television show before. So these are new things, new costs that are involved in the making of this.
Yes.
And also,
basically, that's to pay lawyers.
Pay lawyers in fine print. But Rachel would know. And so the other one, too, is that it's going to help us have the funds to deliver an incredible premiere, right? The incredible rewards, to purchase the swag, right? To pay for the experiences at this retreat, to be able to fund, right? Bringing people on to be coached. These are all the ways that the money is going. Every single dollar is needed to be able to bring the show to life. And that's why the goal is set as it is. And we at Hello 7 don't dream small. Okay. And so we dream in big figures and lots of zeros. And so our goal is 155,000 because we want to make sure we give it the value for what we really want to create. We don't want to make like a slightly good show. This is going to be an epic show. You see it from the trailer, but we want to make sure we put every dollar towards making this show the best it can be. So Thank you all so much for supporting us and hitting this goal.
Yes. So close.
We have people doing more math in the chat. So listen, we love you for it. Okay. So 4 people who want their name in the credits at $147 and a $20 gift, and we are done. I'm obsessed with the math that is happening.
She's like, I got my calculator out. What do we need to do? Wait, I don't want to put you on the spot, but tell me what your name is, because your picture is small and I see the name of your business, but I need to know who you are.
Are you Jennifer? Let's see if you're Jennifer. Tell us in the chat. I think the chat's a little delayed, just so we know when it comes in. I'm pretty sure you're a masterminder, but I'll wait and see for you to confirm with me.
Yes, I think so too. Just so y'all know, my AirPods died. They were like, "You're not done with this live," but I am. They gave up.
Yeah, there we go. I knew it. I was like, is that Jennifer? It's hard to tell because your picture is so tiny. But
from this view here, we're inside StreamYard is where we are. So we can see the comments coming in from different platforms all in one place on StreamYard.
Here we go. Yeah. It's Jennifer Garcia. Yes.
Yes, Jennifer. I love it. Listen.
Let me bring us back up here. Okay. So as you know, this is what we're this is what we're aiming to hit. We do have until tomorrow, but we want to hit the goal today because we're already so close.
Let's just do it right now. That'd be so fun.
We're already here. Y'all want the live reaction? Let's do you know how bad it would be to like end this live and then like
and then hit it right after we end? I know. We got to stay on. We're going to stay on until we hit this goal. Okay.
Yeah.
So listen, what do we got? Why don't we answer some questions? We have more
questions that have come in. Yes, we do. Yeah. So I'll bring up a couple here. Okay. We answered this one already, which is around main production costs and big ticket items. Let me see. We have a great question. We have someone who's actually asking about their business, and we can talk about that right now. We can talk about some business questions too that people are sending in. So, okay, beautiful. So we have, I'm going to summarize the question because it's a little long, but this person actually saw you speak at the Exodus. What? Is there a funny comment that I'm missing?
KK was like, I wrote another Rachel rant. Who knows? Depending on what this question is, one might be coming.
Like the questions will bring it on. Okay, it's just kind of how it works. Okay, so we have a great question from someone who is talking about. They actually saw you speak at the Exodus Summit, and they were really inspired to take action. And so they're an educator and a curriculum writer. So this is what they currently do. And they're thinking about trying a Kickstarter to fund an interactive app and track. But I don't have a following or much of a social media presence. What advice would you give to someone like me who has a strong concept and idea, but is starting from scratch when it comes to visibility and funding?
Yes. So what I would do is I would start by creating visibility. So choose a platform, like whichever one you think would be fun. So like if you love creating YouTube videos, you could do that. If you love like graphic posts on Instagram, for example, if you just like prefer words, you could do threads, right? If you like LinkedIn, it doesn't matter. Just choose one of these platforms and just start building community and start posting content there. Okay. So just sharing every day, whatever is interesting to you. Like you could be talking about your app. You could be talking about your background. Here's a tip too. People are more interested in humans than businesses. Okay. So this is why when we hide behind our businesses and we only talk about our businesses, people are not as interested, right? People actually want to get to know other humans. So, allow yourself to be seen, share who you are, share your background, talk about what kind of content you're going to create, answer questions that you think your audience would have, right? And just like invite conversation. Just think of it as like you're hosting a community of people and you're just like connecting with them and sharing with them, right? Take some of the pressure off, because I think we act like every social post is like a billboard in Times Square, and it's like not that many people are going to see it in the beginning. Just post something, just to be in conversation. All right, just get the party started. Okay, so that's one thing. I would start sharing content and start building a community. Okay, that's step one. Step two is I want you to look in your phone. Like just go ahead and pick your phone up. And then you're gonna go. You're gonna go. What'd you say?
Everyone right now needs to do this.
Yes. So just go ahead and pick up your phone, and then you're gonna go to contacts. Okay. So get to your contacts, and then you're gonna scroll like all the way down. So like scroll to the bottom of your contacts. Keep scrolling, and at the bottom there is a number. Okay. So like I have a number here. You can see 2,466 contacts in my phone. That's a lot of people, right? So whether you have 500 contacts or 300, you probably have a lot of contacts in your phone. So I want you to think about, how can I reach out to all these people in my phone and invite them to follow me on whatever platform, invite them to learn more about what I'm building and why I'm building it. And again, don't just lead with the app, right? If, for example, what I sell is my mastermind, right? Like that is the main offer at Hello 7. But if all I did was talk about my mastermind all day, y'all would be like, I'm bored and I'm leaving, right? You have to get to know me first as the CEO and founder of this company. Like you want to know the person. And then once you know the person, now you're interested in what the products and services are. You know what I mean? So always lead with yourself. People are interested in knowing about you, believe it or not. You don't have to be a best-selling author. You don't have to be somebody famous. You don't have to have done anything fabulous yet, right? Like they just want to know you because you're an interesting human. We all are, right? So like get on there, tell your story, share your perspective, and just start sharing, okay? Is one. But then the second thing is with these contacts, with these 2,000 or 500, go ahead and put in the chat how many contacts you have. I'm curious to see, like, when you scroll through to the bottom of your contacts, how many are in your phone? Because then I would actively, like, literally, you could spend a few minutes every day just sending a text message to 20 different contacts every single day, inviting them to check out, like, join your mailing list, for example, or follow you on Instagram, right? And tell them what kind of content you're going to create. So just talking to the people that you already know is an essential part of starting a business, because the people that already know you will hire you a lot faster than people who don't know you yet. So all of my first customers for my law practice, when I started, this is exactly how I started. I reached out to 100 people that I knew. It was coworkers, old bosses, professors from law school, classmates from law school, friends, uncles, aunties, cousins, like literally 100 people. And I just told them about my business, and I asked them to either hire me or send me a referral. And they did. And so I got my first 3 clients from doing that. And then I got my next set of clients from doing that, right? And then once I had, 10 or so clients, then those clients started referring other people. And that's kind of how I got the ball rolling. So that's what I would recommend as the start, because you definitely need community. And so the other thing I would think about is, who do you know who has a community who would allow you to share your Kickstarter campaign with them? So do you know someone that has 1,000 followers? Do you know someone that has a mailing list of 5,000 people? Could you talk to them and say, like, hey, I'm going to launch my Kickstarter campaign. When I do, could I do a webinar for your audience? Or could we do a live together for your audience, right? And just like find a way to get in front of other people's audiences where you're borrowing an audience. Another way to do that is to appear on other people's podcasts. So you could be a guest on other people's podcasts, and people who run podcasts need guests, right? They most people don't want to talk to themselves. Like some people do solo episodes, but a lot of people hate solo episodes and want to have a guest. And so pitch yourself for podcasts. They don't need to be big ones. Mid-range podcasts get, a lot of engagement. Like they may only have 10,000 downloads per episode, which is 10,000 people are listening to this episode. But on top of that, like they're highly engaged. Like the smaller the audience, usually the higher the engagement. So don't think you only need to go for big name podcasts. Smaller podcasters, it's easier to get on their shows. So pitch yourself, get on those shows. That's going to help you build a community too. So if you post on social for 30 days, text 20 people in your contacts list every day for 30 days. And then pitch yourself to a bunch of at least 20 different podcasts, and then book as many of them as you can in 30 days. By the end of that 30 days, you're going to have an audience, right? It may not be huge, but you'll have it. And then you just keep going. In the next 30 days, it's going to grow even more. And the next 30 days after that, it's going to grow even more, right? If you have money to spend on ads, you could also spend a little bit of money on ads. I'm talking like boosting posts and things like that for small amounts of money. But these are some of the things that I would be doing to build an audience in a short period of time. It's consistency. Just like boring, deliberate, consistent action is all it takes. Okay. So I hope that helps. So I want you to have a built-in community. And then what I want you to do is have a landing page, like a pre-launch page, where you say, my Kickstarter campaign is coming, and you invite people to opt in. And once your Kickstarter campaign has at least 500 contacts in there, then that's probably when you're ready to launch the case. So I would build up that list until it's at least at 500. And then from there, I'd launch it, because a lot of the people who have supported this campaign were on our pre-launch list, right? We can see it in the back end of Kickstarter. We can see that of the however many people were on there, a large percentage of those folks have backed this project. So your early adopters are going to help. But Kickstarter also shows your campaign to their community as well. So you'll get in front of the Kickstarter community, but you don't want to rely on that alone. So anyway, I hope that was helpful.
For everybody in the room. Okay. So
honestly, all of this works for Kickstarter, but also for literally every business that you're trying.
Exactly. That's why I was like, actually, it's for everyone. Anyone who wants to market. That was a little. Hello. Hi, it's me again. $418 to go. Okay.
Wow.
We are so close, y'all. Okay. So listen, our team, just so you all know, our team right now is in a group chat on Slack, just like with emojis and GIFs and messages, hearts, and they're just like, they're updating. They're super excited. Just so you know, this entire company is looking at this number and refreshing the number. We are all so excited to see this show be funded. So thank you all so much. Some of you are coming in with $10, upgrading from $20 to $52, coming in at $150 toward the name in the credits bundle and your bonus class. So I see $30 coming in recently. So listen, money is coming in. You are all supporting this campaign and you're being a part of this. So we are so grateful to have you here. So thank you.
I love it.
Okay. We haven't really.
I'm like, now I want to log into Slack and see what everybody's saying.
No. Distractions. Actually, no, it's fun. It's actually really fun. Okay, so we actually have one of the things that came up a lot as we were, building the show, and the questions that have been coming in is really about like why we're doing it the way that we're doing it. And I think one of the things that you mentioned this earlier on today, but I think it came up again in conversation with people, was why sometimes when we see women, especially Black and brown women, winning, right, it makes people uncomfortable. So do you have anything to say about like why sometimes that is the trigger for people to be like, oh, wait, no, you're winning now. So now I need to actually show up in like a negative way. Whereas when people are struggling and where Black and brown people are struggling, it's like, it's so normalized that it becomes so natural to just be like, oh yeah, well, this is just how it is. And we're so supportive at that stage. Like we love to be that supportive friend. We love to be that person that's like, I'll support you. I know it's hard right now. I'm in there with you. But when that person starts to climb up and when that person starts to win or look like they're about to like hit something big, it's like all of that support that was there when you were struggling kind of simmers down. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Yes, but I do think I will speak to that. Jennifer just gave us an update.
Oh, Jennifer. What's up, Jennifer? What?
According to mine, it isn't. Wait, hold on. I'm refreshing.
It is. It is.
It is? Why does mine not say that? What?
Oh my God.
We just hit it?
We hit 100%.
What? We did it! Yay! Oh my God. So excited. My shoulders dropping.
Oh my God.
Y'all, we did it.
Are you kidding me right now? Wait, I'm going to refresh again. Well, we are for sure 100% funded.
Wow.
How do you feel, Rachel?
Holy crap. I'm in awe. Like I really did not start this live. I was like, okay. Like what, let me stretch. You know what I mean? Like let me get ready, because I was like ready for 2 days of like going hard. Okay. And look, y'all, making money is easy. Okay. Here's a demonstration, because I was expecting to put in a lot of work in the next 48 hours. And here we are. We are officially fully funded. That is so exciting. Wow. 24 hours. First of all, can we just talk about how I just knew this was going to be fully funded in 48 hours? Can we talk about entrepreneurial naivete?
Yeah. Please tell me.
I was like, it's going to be funded in 48 hours. And it sure wasn't.
But it was funded in the last 48 hours. So, you know.
It is that, but I love it though, because you know what, we need our entrepreneurial delusion. Like we need that, because that's what keeps us going and gets us to do the work. And then when it doesn't happen, then it's like, when it doesn't happen, that's when we have to sit and be like, okay, so now who am I? Am I somebody that throws in the towel because it didn't go how I thought it was going to go? Or am I somebody who's going to put in this work and make it happen? And you get to decide who you want to be, and then you get to show up. And so, you know what? I wouldn't have it any other way. I love it. Yes. Yes. This is going to be our amazing race.
Yes. Exactly.
So we just committed Rachel to being in our lives for the next 10 years. Seriously. Yes, dancing in a coffee shop. Yes, Jen, exactly. Being realistic got me nowhere. 100%. Okay. Look at us. Look at us just making shit. Okay. We're like, oh, we don't have the money to create a TV show. We can fix that. We got this.
Mm-hmm.
What else can we do, y'all? What else can we come together and do? Like the power of community. We have so much more power than we think we do. Yes, we did that. We did that. Everyone who shared it, everyone who sent encouraging words, who commented on our 50,000 reels about it, who backed it. Yes, 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 yes. I love it. I love it. I love it. Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, everybody, to all of our backers. Hold on. I want to see the exact number. We have 257 backers. Is that right?
258 backers. We currently have $155,084.
Wow. 250. Thank you to all 258 backers. We appreciate you. Wow. Like you did that. You did that. You're an investor. Okay. And my goal is to make your investment worth every penny for you. Okay. Because you know what? I'm a good investment. All right. When I was starting my business, my husband, he got laid off shortly after, because, you know, that's how it works, right? You're like, I'm not going to take a job. I'm going to start my business. And then it winds up without a job 5 minutes later. But he had like a severance package. And I was like, I'm going to need that. I'm going to need you to hand that check over. And that check was not seed money. That check was basically for us to live off of. And I mean, we lived like, you know, we sold all of our stuff. We lived in a basement apartment. Like we had we turned in our nice leased car, and we got a car that I think it cost us $500. It was a Nissan Altima with like 200,000 miles on it. But you know what? It got us from A to B. Anyway, that money helped us live off of it, though. Like, I mean, it was a very small amount of money, but it helped, you know. And I told my husband all the time, I'm like, I was a good investment. You invested in me, and look at your returns. Okay, exceptional returns. So just so you know, I have a track record of delivering exceptional returns. So you should look forward to those returns. I look forward to blowing your minds. History says, okay, that I deliver. All right.
You heard that first. Also, I think something that's really cool, just because at this point we're all friends here at this point, right? Like we're all in the room. We're all best friends.
We've been hanging out, like we're in each other's houses. We're eating snacks together.
Yeah,
you know,
we're at coffee shops together. We're everywhere together right now. And bring up this graph because I do think it's really, really is.
Wow. Yes.
And you know, this is one of the things that I know we talk about we talk a lot, right? About your community, the relentlessness of taking action. And when you think that things are not moving, and when you think that things are not shifting, and when you're just like, nope, I'm going to show up anyways, I'm going to show up each and every single day. And you'll see, right? Like we started the campaign incredibly strong. We went up, and then someone would change their minds, and then it would dip, and we'd be like, no, right? And then it'd be like, then we go up and up, or we stay steady for a few days, and we're like, what do we have to do different? And this is that relentlessness that we talk about.
All those plateaus. We had every plateau you see, we were stressed. We're like, why isn't it moving?
You're like, nothing for days. It's the same number that it was yesterday. And I do think it's really inspiring to see, because really, honestly, every single time that we would watch this and we would watch the number refresh, right? Every single day we're like, but we're going to show up anyways, because we have a goal, we have a mission, right? And we got to do this. Even if, right, the action we took today, we didn't see a number change at the end of the day. The goal is to keep moving, right? To keep reaching for that goal, and to keep working on it, and to keep showing up, and to keep sending the emails, and to keep texting people.
Listen, you see all those plateau moments, you got to believe, okay? You got to believe during those times. You got to be like, listen, it's happening, okay? I don't care what this graph says.
Yeah.
I don't care because this graph ain't never met me. Okay. This graph don't know what it got coming to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, you got to put on some rap music and get hype. Okay.
Listen, 100. You need the money dance song. You need to do whatever it is you need to do to get yourself in the energy you need to get into to show up each and every day. And this is just in general for everyone, right? Like, yes, like I needed to see this. And this is because this is truth, right? This is the honest truth that this is literally a screenshot from Kickstarter, right? Like this is not a graph we made up. Like this is how it happened. And these are all the plateaus. These are all the dips. These are all the moments that we were like, okay, let's climb. And you can see, right? It was gradual, and then it wasn't. And then it was gradual and gradual, right? And then it was stopped. And then every single time you show up, right, you continue to edit, tweak, whatever it is, and your community will show up. And this is also the power of a good deadline, because at the end of the day, the deadline is a deadline, right? And everyone
literally
everyone in the middle is just waiting to be like, but I still got some time, right? And we still got some time. And sometimes we market like that. We're just like, anytime you want to work with me is wonderful. And then people will forever be in the limbo of like, I had time to work with you. And so this is it. We're so grateful.
Yes. Thank you so much. Wow. We have been live for 3 hours, and in 3 hours, 30,000, I think it was like $31,000 that we were short. Literally just 3 hours ago. That is wild. So somebody said, I think the Rachel rant was the catalyst. You know what it was? I started my day. First of all, I talked to the librarian earlier. I feel like he set me off. Like he set me on ready to go on a tirade. And then I had a call with a journalist, and she was asking me these questions. I literally was in here yelling. Yes. Not at her, but I was so fired up after, because some of her questions were like, well, is that really possible? And I was like, of course it's possible. So I was on an entire tirade. And so like, then I got off that I was like, I got on with we have a daily huddle every day for our Kickstarter task force. So this is every team member that's like working on this daily. And so then I was firing up my team, gave everybody a pep talk. Then I jumped into a coaching call, fixed up somebody's business. Then I jumped on live with y'all. So I've been on a tirade for hours. I probably need a nap at this point. I need to go to bed.
I love that everyone's so up in our business. They're like, tell us how the Slack channel's happening. Like what's happening in the Slack channel. The Slack channel is hype. Okay. Someone's saying I need to hibernate. Someone else is saying like they're sending screenshots. There is gifts of champion vibes. We did it. We have the Oprah gif of her giving cars to everybody. We have please stop right now. We've reached our goal. Like it's just all the things.
Wow.
And everyone's
that's a lot of emojis.
Yep. So yeah, we have a lot going on, and we're super, super grateful and so excited that we spent all this time here with you, that you spent this time here with us. Okay. Everyone is celebrating. We're celebrating. Please continue to celebrate with us, because this is a huge deal. And for all of you that have backed the show, you've made this happen, and you are just as much a part of this as our Hello 7 team, right? Like you're literally the reason that this is happening as well. So thank you for believing.
Collective win for sure.
Yes.
For sure.
Thank you for believing right alongside us, right? That this show deserves to be seen, that it deserves the big screen, that the stories need to be told. Okay. And that we need to see more media like this be created. We are so excited. This is only the first step, right?
Yes.
Of bringing this to life. And we have funded the rest of season 1. So we're super excited.
It's officially happening. And Marilyn wants you to know that you can still back and get rewards too. Marilyn's like, let's talk about these stretch goals. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Let's just enjoy I think it's so important to enjoy and celebrate the win, and just like sit in the soup of a win, because you work so hard. And I think if you immediately start going, trust me, our brains always love to be like, okay, what's next? What's next is we need to go celebrate that we did that, right? All of us, y'all too, everybody in the audience as well. Y'all did that also. Even being on this live, right? Like if you were on this live and you didn't say a word and you didn't back this project, you still contributed because you're on, other people are seeing it and they're on, right? Because that's how the algorithm works. So everybody that's a part of this has sent some energy our way to help us make this happen. So thank you. Let's celebrate this win. And then tomorrow we'll talk about stretch goals.
So we're gonna go out with our.
We will see you in New York City. Cannot wait.
Yeah, definitely. So we're gonna be going live again tomorrow. You'll see us at 11 a.m. live.
I mean, it was already scheduled because we thought we would hit it tomorrow.
Tomorrow we'll be live and we'll watch it happen and we'll see it live with everybody. And I'm good. I'm good with being wrong when it's early.
Listen, I like being wrong in this instance. I'm glad I was wrong.
I just thought I was like, Aquariuses are never wrong, but I'm happy that we are wrong in this regard. Okay.
Yes.
Because
you got double Aquarius here. Like, and we also have the same birthday. So
I still don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Listen, you're gonna find out because it's gonna be Aquarius vibes in this show because I'm the host and she's the director.
Listen, that's just what's happening, okay? So
Listen, Aquarius is all about revolution and ushering in a new world, and that's what we're doing with this show. Yeah, so let's go.
Let's go.
Okay, let's do it.
We have a fun show for you tomorrow at 11 a.m. So please come out. If you've been here, just come out and celebrate with us. We're going to have some replays of some old questions Rachel has answered about some things to do with the show. We're going to celebrate hitting some of these stretch goals. We're going to celebrate the people that have come in and backed the show already. We're going to be able to see the trailer again, and we'll remind everyone of the bonuses. Those are still going to be available because you can still back all the way up until tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern. And we'll have a good
24 hours.
I know. 24 hours from Rachel, but it's a little bit more for us.
Oh my God, it's 7 p.m. in Portugal. It's not 7 p.m. where y'all are.
Not yet. Not yet, but we're very close.
I always forget. I swear I think I'm in New York, and then I wake up and I'm like, oh yeah, you're not in New York.
No, 100% not. So, okay, we're going to go out with our money song. We're going to go out celebrating. So please celebrate with us. And then at the end of that, I'm just going to play the trailer one last time for everyone who's here and wants to watch it one last time to remember what we just backed together. Yes. And then we're going to close out, and we'll see you all tomorrow on Wednesday. Tomorrow is Thursday. I don't know what day
it is anymore.
Tomorrow's Thursday. Every day is Kickstarter day, so I don't know the days of the week anymore.
See, I can't count 24 hours or do time zones.
I don't know the days.
You don't know what day it is, but that's okay. We're still here.
You know why I don't know the days is because I only speak in hours now because it's Kickstarter. I'm like, I don't know what day, but I know we got X amount of hours. So, all right, everyone. Thank you all so much. Thank you.
Welcome to The Rachel Rodgers Show, where I'm combining my two favorite things, travel and making money. I'm taking you to cities around the world to meet real entrepreneurs and find out how they built their success. You'll see what it truly takes to make millions on your own terms, the sacrifices, the setbacks, the pivots that nearly broke them, and the wins that prove what's possible.
So pretty.
Oh my God. This is amazing. I'm Rachel Rodgers, serial entrepreneur, investor, and best-selling author of We Should All Be Millionaires. I grew my company, Hello7, to over $10 million, and now I teach others how to do the same.
Welcome back. Our next guest, Rachel Rodgers, because we all should be millionaires. Congratulations!
This is all about the money. Where do we begin?
We are so excited with our guest.
Self-made millionaire, Rachel Rodgers.
Well, first of all, we have to start with boundaries.
But this show isn't about me. It's about entrepreneurs just like you, building restaurants, tech startups, consulting practices, and everything in between.
Time out.
And yes, I'll also pull back the curtain on my own journey. The decisions that changed the game for me, the mistakes that nearly cost me everything, and the lessons that will help you avoid the same trap. You'll even hear me answer the questions you send in, because this show isn't just for you, it's with you. Hi, Cassie.
Hi, Farrah.
Hi, Dr. Julie.
Nicole. The first thing that I would do,
I'm gonna do my homework.
if you've ever wondered, can I really do this? Can I really build wealth and freedom on my own terms? The answer is yes, and every episode will show you how. This isn't just a show, it's a movement. It's culture, it's wealth, created by us, for us, and on our own terms. This is the Rachel Rodgers Show, and it starts right now.